Hello everybody, how y'all doing today? Hello Natsu, Red, and Maple, it's so great to see you all today. I hope you're all having a lovely Wednesday afternoon. It's great to see you all. How's everyone's day been so far? I have been mostly chilling out. I'm really... And Star, hi! Lovely to see you all today. I'm really excited for tonight's stream game because I have seen very little of it. Besides the art on the itch page, but it looks absolutely fucking gorgeous. I am so excited. It's got like this very cool gothic art style, and I think it fucks. I can't lie. I am super excited. Like here, let me pull it up. Let me pull up the itch page real quick. Like fucking look at this art, man. It's so fucking sick. I'm really excited for it, and I hope you all are as well, because without any further ado, I'm gonna be booting up the game. I'm gonna be fully voice acting it, which I think is gonna be pretty fun. I'm really excited. Welcome to Dicentra. Ooh, yeah, no, it's fucking great. Hello, Alistair. How you doing today? Gallery. Ooh. Obviously, it's pretty clearly a Renpai game, but like, I don't think I've ever actually seen a Renpai game with like an animated title screen, which is very interesting. Again, the whole game is fucking phenomenally done art-wise. Oh, I just realized I think something's reaching out of that painting. That's probably fine. I don't think there's anything to worry about there. I think we should let it out, whatever it is. This game contains content and themes on death, loss, grief, violence, animal death, imprisonment, flashing imagery, jump scares, intoxication, horrific imagery and descriptions, mental illness, suicide, not involving main characters, and loud sounds that players may find uncomfortable or disturbing. Player discretion is advised. Please play responsibly and take care of yourself. Yeah, okay. Glad we have that out of the way, because again, if this is for anyone who is very sensitive to that kinds of things, we have Undertale Friday, and I will be playing Super Mario Sunshine with Whoops tomorrow on her channel. So we got some fun stuff, so don't feel bad if you have to head out, okay? With that, my breath comes out in puffy clouds as I limp through the rain. It blurs my vision, forcing me to feel my way through the forest with wind crushing against me from all sides. I've never been much for prayer, but would it be too late to start now? I feel like digging my claws into anything that might make me feel less alone right now. Then again, what God would hear someone like me out? I fumble over tangles of roots and slip over wet moss. My bones instantly shudder from the cold shock that shoots up my arms as my nails grab onto a nearby rock. Whew. I thought that was like a weird baby head at first. No, it's just leaves and the moon. Again, I'm a big fan of like monochromatic palettes or like very limited color palettes. The last game also did this, but fucking the black and white and red, fucking amazing color combinations. I adore it. It is so fucking good. It absolutely helps with the atmosphere. I think it's so fucking sick. As well as like the ink, the sort of ink and paper kind of aesthetic with how everything's drawn. Like, it feels very much like something out of a really strong graphic novel. I think it's really sick. The cuts all over my body start to sting again, and a pathetic whine escapes my throat. My grandmother would have a riot if she could see me now. I can hear her snide remark already.
See what happens when you don't listen to me?
As if I wouldn't survive long enough to hear the real deal. I sniffle in frustration and try to shake the feeling away with rain dripping down my face. She's always right, of course. For a moment, I thought I had finally gotten what I wanted so badly. Earned all on my own, in spite of how it was always placed out of my reach. It was almost worth the consequences that came after. Lost in thought, I lose control of my limbs. I'm not used to controlling them all at once, and it's enough to throw me back into the slick earth. My eyes begin to burn. The ice of the rain and the pain that drags along my body suddenly overwhelm me. The storm above is harsh, and the thick canopy of trees above me does little to shield me from its rage. Instead, the trees passively turn their leaves away. If I had the guts, I'd throw my grandmother's most colorful curses at them. But I don't. I force myself to take a deep breath. I shakily lift myself from the ground, trying to ignore the bite of pain that comes from my arm. For the middle of summer, it pours hard. The rain comes down like shards of ice against my skin, like it falls with the intent to hurt. In the puddle in front of me, I watch it disturb the reflection with ripples. In the brief moments where the reflection almost settles, I see piercing yellow eyes, dark fur, and wilted ears, sleek and clinging to the small, vulnerable form of a wolf pup. The voice of my grandmother hisses in my mind.
What have you done, Basil?
I need to get back home. I tear away from the puddle and trek on. Please, something, lead me back home. Something, anything. After making my wish, I wonder if it's a wise thing to ask this forest for a favor. Maybe my weariness is starting to play tricks on my mind. Because I swear, something answers. It's so faint that I question if it's even real. A howl cuts through the wind, or perhaps it's the wind that shrinks away from the sound that ambles through. Fighting my way through the storm has left my body exhausted. My mind might be neglecting its responsibility to remember what reason is. All my instincts scream to ignore it, but my heart, a stupidly curious thing, makes me take a step forward. My fuzzy ears pick up the heavy sound of my heart pounding. I try to convince myself it's because of fear. I'm really enjoying this prose so far. Like, I fuck with it heavy, man. It's really, really well done. I'm really getting a grasp of this character's emotions and just... Oh, I fuck with it. I fuck with it a lot. I really think it is very much putting the exact image in my head that it's trying to. I think it's really, really well written. Good evening. Good evening, Naku. How you doing today? Hope you're having a lovely, lovely Wednesday afternoon. We are a wolf pup in a very spooky forest, trying to get out of the goddamn storm that's kicking our goddamn asses. We're not having a great time right now. It's been rough. But it can get rougher. You get it? Get it? Rough? That wasn't actually an intentional pun. I only realized it after I said it, but it would have been awesome. Oh, fuck. Okay, I accidentally clicked multiple times, so I wanted to make sure that I didn't skip any dialogue, because I'm really, really enjoying it so far. I need to focus on where the howling's coming from. I'm doing alright. Saw some art of you on W Place and remind me I should stop by here since I've been following you. Yeah, no, I'm super proud of the W Place art. It took me like several days to get done, but I am really, really happy with how it turned out. Lovely, lovely to see you again. As I get closer to the sound, it begins to resemble crying. Crying. The storm also seems to mysteriously retract its claws. Is it the forest showing mercy? Or has it submitted to something more formidable? I've lived in the woods my whole life. I should know better than anyone to never get too comfortable. A red light perforates the dark atmosphere. I swallow harshly. There's a mansion in the middle of the woods. From a distance, it would look abandoned, if not for the hazy red light coming from the rooftop. I squint. Is that a greenhouse? A shadowy figure moves quickly behind its clear walls, startling me. I duck into the tall and neglected grass that grows in the mansion's yard. After a short while, I peek through the blades. The shadow is gone. Did I imagine it? It's a super haunted house. There's no fucking chance in hell that house isn't haunted to hell and back. No, Spooky, I'd rather stay outside. The rain's gonna kill us if we stay inside. It's like fucking beating our asses. We are fighting the rain and we are losing. It's not great for us. We're just a little fucking guy in the woods. We're going to die if we don't go in there and beat the shit out of whatever ghost is in there. There's probably multiple. We'll fucking kill them all. Rain's got hands. I release a nervous sigh and observe the grounds for any sign of life. Or death. It was a bad idea to come here. A terrible one, even. I can't stay here. I retreat back into the shadows of the forest, keeping the mansion in my light of sight. The moment I feel bold enough to turn my back against it, a powerful gale slams into me. I tumble back hard, skidding across the ground into the tall grass with a cry. It takes me a moment to recover my swirling vision. My wounds scream at me, and I wonder how much further I can even go in this state. I grit my teeth and get back on my feet, keeping my weight off my arm as I make for the forest again. Again, I'm denied entrance by the mysterious force. Panic starts to seep through my bones. Hopelessness might actually be a more welcome feeling than the tightness that now constricts around my heart. I stare at the trees as though they'll suddenly start playing nice, but beings as ancient as them do not bend to anyone's will but their own. The wind gives one more shove. It insists I move forward. I bare my adolescent fangs at it to disguise the hurt. I know now that my choices were nothing but illusions. I love the fucking portrait art. Oh my god, that's really pretty. I fucking love the art style of this game so far. It's so well done. The like sharp contrast between the oh god, this game does contrast really fucking well. I face the mansion once again. It's clear that something or someone from the inside is inviting me in. With no other choice, I creep along the worn brick walls of the mansion and try to find a way in. Our first choice of the game! Ooh, I can make silly sounds! Big day for me. Wee! Yippee! Window! I spy a broken window and see a gauzy white curtain thrashing against the glass from the intruding storm. Sadly, it's far too high for me to climb, and there's no way I can jump in this state. I jump at a nearby clap of thunder. My eyes blink through the rain, and I squint when the searing white light of the lightning above reflects on something that sits on the windowsill. I take a step back and see a simple white vase that holds a gathering of withered roses. Perhaps I can take this as proof that the mansion can safely serve as an empty shelter for the night. I turn and look for somewhere else to enter. Cellar door! I find an entrance to a cellar. The wood of the doors look rotten, but it doesn't give when I place 2 paws on it and push my weight into it. My ears flick back in disappointment. Though I'm also relieved I didn't go tumbling through the old wood into some unknown depth. Heavy iron handles sit unchained. All I need to do is find a way to open them. I try to squeeze my snout through one of the handles. As I bring my face closer to the moldy wood, a faint sound comes from below. I immediately freeze. Icy rain weighs down on my fur and intensifies the chills that drape over me like a thick cloak. I swallow, then lean forward to press one of my droopy ears against the door. I listen closely, and serpentine hisses come from the other side of the wood. My breathing stills. My ear remains glued to the door. I try to find some sense in the sounds I hear, then something slams against the wood where my ear's pressed against it, and I fling back in shock. The fur against my neck is completely ruffled, and my tail curls between my legs in fright. I stare at the cellar doors with owlish eyes, half expecting a beast to burst out and eat me. But nothing happens. Still, my racing heart does not calm as I track through the muddy grass in search of some other entrance. This game's fun. I'm enjoying voicing it a lot. It's really fucking good. A faint knocking grabs my attention. I pat to the back of the mansion, and my saving grace comes in the form of a door left slightly ajar. Aha! I nudge my nose into the tight gap, and relief washes over me when it parts. Oof. An ear-piercing screech echoes through the mansion as the door's hinges begin to shift. From the looks of it, they haven't moved for a long time. The feeling of ice floods my veins. I stay frozen in the doorway. If the mansion is occupied, there's no way I didn't just announce my entrance. Fear takes over again. My back paw intuitively steps back so I can attempt to run as far away from this place as I can. The sound of thunder explodes behind me. I feel my body take on a life of its own as I throw myself into the mansion against my will. The door slams on my way in. I breathe shallowly. When I come to my senses, I'm in a kitchen. It's dark inside the house. The only source of light comes from the windows above the counters. Everything beyond its reach is a void. I see a kitchen table and crawl towards it, scratching my nails along the musty wood flooring in a rush to get beneath it. I stay under the table as my breathing starts returning to a normal pace. My eyes are wide and my ears are perked up on the lookout for anything that could be a threat. The only sounds I pick up are the heavy drums of rain from outside and the occasional creak of the mansion walls breathing in the night air. But I'm confident that there's no sign of life inside the manor. I crawl back into the open and immediately shake off as much rain and mud as I can. Ignore my stumbling over my words. I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot of reading this stream. Gotta stay hydrated as well. I did just drink water, but I'll go hydrate again. I hope you all are enjoying this game as much as I am, though. Look. I'm like a little eepy. I let myself celebrate the minor luxury of finally escaping the maws of the weather, but I don't let my nerves calm down just yet. As soon as my eyes adjust to the dark, I take my time to study my surroundings more. I notice a hearth that lacks any recent maintenance. Dishes crowd on the countertops, and a thick layer of dust forces me to smother a sneeze. This place hasn't been occupied in a long time. Surely I can allow myself to breathe just a little easier in this place. In this space. At least until the storm wanes. I bring in a deep inhale, being careful not to get any dust up my sensitive nose, and tread cautiously. As I sneak further in, I hold my breath at every corner, carefully looking in all directions for danger. The rest of the mansion is as devoid of life as the kitchen. Most of the rooms here have closed doors. The ones I could see in were graciously empty, except for the derelict furnishings within. Barely anything is in a decent shape. I couldn't guess how long it's been since a human lived in this manor, but based on the scratched hardwood floors and the broken but intricate-looking side table nestled in a dark corner, I have the impression that this place was neglected even while it was occupied. My nails tap on the floor as I limp into the hallway, my mind finally settling from all the adrenaline. The ache in my front leg starts to swell, and the heart... The fuck? God damn it. And the heat of my body intensifies the pain. I try to admire the paintings that line the walls from end to end, but it's hard to see them in the dark. Through glimpses of light, I can make out some faded landscapes, a few mountains, some castles, and a couple of portraits. One portrait in particular catches my eye. I stop in front of it. I stare at the portrait, foolishly thinking that it's staring right back. The rising heat in my body must be making me see things. As I observe the side profile of a pale woman, I notice that she's eerily the most realistic painting I've seen so far. I got into Stardew Valley. Welcome back, Sonny. Stardew Valley is really fun. I'm like kind of an expert, and by that I mean I played it once and it was fun, and I basically followed the wiki. Whoa, plant 3,000 strawberries. I got it 2 days ago. Nice, how you enjoying it? Have 15 hours on her. That is impressive. I respect it. When she turns her head to look down at my tiny form, every hair on my body goes stiff. That's fine. That's... That's so normal! Her lovely features captured in oil begin to melt off as she steps out from the painting. Oh, dear fucking lord! Hi! Ha! What the fuck is that? Okay. That's so fine. Smooth ivory skin shrivels to a deathly pallor. The elaborate gown clinging to her sharp shoulders begins to rot as her torso parts open like a blooming rose, revealing decaying bone, and organs that run down her skirt like horrific decor. I immediately start running away as fast as I physically can. As I scramble to get away on my hurt leg, I hear something that might be worse than a ghost. The woody and spicy scent of incense fills the humid air, creating a hazy purple fog. The sound of chains moving in a controlled rhythm rattles me to the marrow in my bones. Footsteps follow shortly after, growing louder alongside the clinking chains. It's coming from the staircase! My breath quickens. I slide to a halt and backtrack away from the sounds. I look behind me and see the glowing apparition of the woman's hunched form stumbling towards me, dragging a trail of gore with a wet squelch. Hide! I need to hide! But where? My eyes dart across every inch of the hallway, desperately searching for any small sanctuary. The footsteps are right behind me. The ghost is right in front of me. The hallway now feels like a tomb. All the doors are firmly shut. Whew. Sorry, I'm gonna take a quick sip of water. This is fun. Man, I've missed voicing visual novels. I'm having a great time. I press against a wall, my heart skipping a beat when I notice a faint tapping sound coming from behind me. I turn around and witness the outline of a door revealing itself. I waste no time shoving my muzzle between the crack to wrench it open. As soon as I pry the door open, I hurl myself through and back into the darkness. I walk backwards away from the door, keeping my eyes on it. I'm so focused on the door that I bump into something cold and almost trip over it. I look up to see a dark iron staircase curling up to a high ceiling. A hatch near the top is open, letting the rain from outside drip down onto the cold metal. That's ominous. That's really... God, the art in this game is so fucking good. Oh my god, I love it so much. hear footsteps once again. This time, much louder. I don't dare to breathe or move. Oh, hi, man! There you are. The voice startles me into moving. No way was I about to stick around and find out what fate awaits me. Every fiber of my being is ringing with danger as I climb the stairs with only adrenaline instructing my limbs. I drag myself up the iron steps until I'm bursting onto the roof and back into the storm. A fog of fright muddles my mind. I see the greenhouse I had spotted earlier and sprint towards it as fast as I can. I search for a small space to crawl into, tripping over a mess of vines along the way. Thunder and lightning roar above me. A bright flash of white blinds me. I can feel my claws scratch against the wet tiles. A door slams shut in the distance, causing a rippling effect in the walls and reaching the rooftop. When the rippling stops, everything goes quiet. The energy of the manor shifts completely. A jolt of lightning from the storm makes my fur stand. It charges the air and saturates it with the smell of ozone. I shake the rain from my face. The whole world has fallen silent except for the sound of a chilling drip. Basil. I freeze. Basil. My eyes carefully follow the coil of dead roots on the gray floor of the greenhouse. I follow its trail all the way to the blood dripping onto the dirty tiles. And the pale feet behind it, beside it. I can kind of hear the dripping. Like sometimes. And the pale feet beside it. My eyes climb the mysterious figure. I don't think I'll ever forget the sight before me for as short as I live. Oh, that's fucked. Don't say it like that. You're gonna live a long time, I promise. Lightning flashes briefly through the tall windows. Looming rose bushes creep along them, white roses speckled across its dark leaves like stars in the night sky. The bright flowers begin to bleed red before my very eyes. At the rose bush's crimson-soaked center, a small girl stands with her back towards me. Blood drips from tiny bite marks all over her hand. A red flower bulb is crushed between her delicate fingers. God, the art is fucking gorgeous. Holy shit. Fucking look at it. Fucking look at it. God, the detail, the line work, the fucking contrast between the... Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I'm like paranoid saving because I did check the itch page. There are 6 bad ends and 1 good end, 1 true end. So there are going to be quite a few ending choices, I believe. Instead of a strong floral scent, the smell of burning paper and wilting lilacs floods my senses. A whine unwillingly crawls up my throat and cuts through the silence. Time resumes once again. The girl turns. Her gaze pierces right through me. The bulb drops from her hand. She doesn't say a word. Her attention is mine, whether I want it or not. Black dots begin to appear in the corners of my vision. The last thing I see is her walking towards me. Before everything fades to black. My fever is brutal throughout the night. My fever is brutal throughout the night. I slip in and out of consciousness to flames beneath my skin and an ache I'd rather sleep off than face. I try to make my body go back to sleep, but rough hands force my jaw open, and I feel something shoved down my throat. The intrusion makes me violently resist, but I'm far too weak to fend the intruder away. The dark takes me into its arms once again. I wake to the tang of rusty metal and humid air. The unfamiliar sensation makes my eyes snap open. Beyond the small cage that holds me, it's dark and damp. I clench my jaw as I examine my surroundings. Soon my eyes fixate on the ghost staring at me from outside my metal prison. I yelp and throw my body backwards, hitting the back of the cage. She's kind of pretty. Cute, I mean, yeah. I expect the bite of hard metal on my back, but something smooth bends around my shape instead. It hisses at me in response. I don't think it liked that very much. My claws scrape the cold floor of the cage as I spin. The bars behind me morph into slithering vipers and defensive stances, each one baring their fangs in anger. Careful. 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 Their venom will make the blood in your body solidify in seconds. That wouldn't be a very pleasant way to die.
That wouldn't be a very pleasant way to die.
I look at the ghost in horror. I'm breathing so quickly that I'm convinced I'll die from lack of oxygen. Or so I think. The vipers settle back into metal bars and I make myself small. I don't want to risk testing their patience again. The ghost is not a ghost, but a girl. Her hair looks like ink that's been violently knocked over and spilled onto the floor. It melts into the dark surroundings, contrasting her gray, sickly-looking skin. Her expression is blank. I see her hands tightly clutching her white gown.
Do you bite?
Do you? I reveal my teeth through her snarl and watch as she shows hers with a small smile. The fur along my spine stands up. She starts to move and I flinch. The girl crawls towards the cage and I curl my nails. She reaches for me, a pale hand passing between the bars without resistance. It freezes right in front of my snout. Is she checking to see if I would really bite? Has she no fear? Offering her hand so fearlessly in the presence of a beast? I may only be a pup, but the sheer force of my jaws can pierce right through her palm. Oh, we are a wolf. Yes, we are! We're a little baby pup. That's why we're a wolf in the little corner. Anyways, I'm gonna try and make friends with everyone. I'm sure nothing bad could happen from that. I'm sure nothing bad could possibly happen if I reveal myself to be harmless to the slightly sinister ghost girl. Or maybe she's not sinister. I don't know yet. I'm scared. She pulls her hand back and holds it against her collar. My eyes lock with hers as she stares at me with her lips pressed together. I think she expected me to bite her.
It'll be hard for me to protect you if you're too scaredy cat to do it as... It'll be hard for me to protect you if you're too scaredy cat to do as I say.
My eyes snap back to the girl. I watch as she stands up and wipes her hands on her dress, not showing a single care for how dirty it's become.
If you want to survive, you'll have to listen to my instructions. Okay, doggy? Okay, doggy?
She tilts her head like she expects me to respond.
Don't try to be too brave. You can only survive this place if you're smart. The others had too much fight in them. It made them foolish. It made them foolish.
My heart pounds in my chest from her words alone. She gives me another haunting smile.
When your arm is better, I'll take you for a walk before he gets back.
Oh, okay, she was excited. Okay, let me redo the line.
When your arm is better, I'll take you for a walk when he gets back. When your arm is better, I'll take you for a walk when he gets back.
Is this what she sounds like when she's excited? It's unsettling. She suddenly moves close to the cage again. I jump and back away, just enough to not risk getting into trouble with the vipers again. The scent of burning parchment and wilting lilacs returns. The girl's hair falls off her shoulders. I expected ink to trickle down and dye her dress black.
My name is Dove. My name is Dove.
Horrible to meet you, Dove. Chapter 1. Roses. God, this game's really good so far. I'm really fucking digging it. Weh. I spend the night nursing the dregs of my fever. When I'd first woken up, I didn't take notice of how much it had already been soothed. But now, vague memories of violating hands surface in my thoughts. Did the girl, Dove, give me some kind of medicine during the height of my fever? My body still feels uncomfortably warm. I rest my head on one arm and glance at the one that had been hurt earlier. A clean bandage is firmly wrapped around it. Not enough to cut the blood flow, but enough to restrict its movement. Was this also Dove's handiwork? I sigh softly through my nose, then close my eyes. Time passes ambiguously in the cage. With nothing to reference, I don't know if it's been mere hours or days. A bowl of water sits in the corner of my cage. I know from the dryness in my throat that I need to hydrate, but I've yet to muster up the courage to approach the bars that slither and rattle every so often. When I'm desperate enough to finally quench my thirst, the bars relievingly keep their middle forms. Feeling better now, I curl into a ball and my tail cradles my face. I want to go home. Exhaustion catches up to me once again. I fall asleep on crusty metal and wake on dusty wood. The sound of wind chimes alerts me into consciousness. My eyes snap open and my retinas are immediately burned by the color that floods into them. On the floor in front of me is a kaleidoscope of lights created by the morning sun, a stark contrast to the dark and dreary setting I was previously confined to. Maybe I dreamed it all in a feverish haze? I check on the gauze around my arm. It's still there. A weight around my neck brings me back into focus. A collar is secured around my throat. Attached to it is a long and heavy chain that leads to the leg of a large wardrobe in the corner of the room. The bedroom. I take in my latest cage. There are no longer venomous bars to keep me, but the state of confinement has not changed. My eyes move from the rainbows on the floor to the line of the chain restraining me, then to the rest of the room. I look at the windows and find swirling murals and expressive paintings of various creatures and monsters. The sun behind them illuminates the floor with speckles of color like a stained glass window. Past the frame of the window, the drawings continue in nonsensical scrawl. Less art decorates the walls, but shelves cracked with plant pots and hanging tangles of ivy take their place. Dirty cups and bowls sit forgotten in a corner. I briefly note 2 shallow dishes near where I lay. They look like they'd be used by a pet. Judging from the surprising lack of grime from under them, it hasn't been that long since they were last used. Okay, give me a second. To breathe, the game is really fucking good so far. I'm really, really digging it. God, the art... I don't really know what it's going for quite yet. I am still kind of figuring it out, but man... I fuck with the art, the characters so far are all really interesting. What the fuck was up with that ghost lady? I'm so curious. I have so many questions. Taking up half the room is a canopied bed. Dark curtains are pulled tightly together, preventing me from seeing inside. The sound of scratching captures my attention. I drag my gaze up to a pile of books. There, sitting on a raggedy blanket, hunched over and scrubbing over the print in a book, is Dove. She gnaws on her lip and pinches her brows. I can hear her whispering something to herself. No, oh no. That won't work. I slowly lift myself off the floor, cringing at the sounds of clinking chains following my movement. Dove makes no move acknowledging my presence, so I continue approaching her. When I'm closer to her back, I'm able to get a better look at what she's furiously writing. Scribbles of occult symbols make the words on the pages completely illegible. I swallow a lump at my throat. The collar around my neck feels very heavy right now. Dove suddenly tears a page out from the book. The jarring sound makes me jump, and I slam into a tower of books, sending it toppling to the floor. Dread weighs heavily on me. I look back at Dove. She's now staring at me with wide eyes.
You're awake!
She's cute! Look at her! Come on, she's cute. Hi, Core, how you doing? You're cute. What the fuck? Uncalled for. Look at the awesome, pretty lady. She's like a little child. It gives her head pats. Release a small yelp and stare at her dumbfounded. She's brighter. Or maybe it's the luminous light filtering through the bedroom window? Something about it paints her in a rose-tinted lens that makes my wariness waver. How's your gaming going? Good, it's a visual novel, so we're kind of just reading, but I'm really enjoying it. It's been lots of fun so far. It's been a very interesting game. Yes, we know, Dex. Who up reading my novel? Me! I am reading so hard. We're a little wolf pup. We're just a little fucking guy who is currently experiencing the horrors. I'm replaying Deltarune Chapter 1 and 2. Nice, I hope you're enjoying your time with them. I should probably play them myself eventually once I'm done with Undertale. That feeling instantly vanishes when she gets up and rushes towards me. I run away as fast as my legs allow me, but my air supply is abruptly cut short and I'm thrown off my feet. A sharp howl is pulled from my throat. I look behind me and see that the chain of my collar is pulled taut. I had reached its limit. I then see Dove standing in the spot I had bolted from. Her gaze creeps along the chains, making its way to my crumpled form. Icy blue eyes stare into mine, and I shudder. It feels like she could unravel me through sight alone. She looks at me like she knows. Then she perks up, snapping the tension away.
Oh, right. You're probably starving. The others were also very skittish when they had empty bellies. The others were also very skittish when they had empty bellies. The others were also very skittish when they had empty bellies.
Her voice trails off as though she'd become lost in thought. She starts weaving through the mess of book piles to reach the bedroom door.
Wait here!
I don't have much of a choice. Dove returns with a bread roll and a bowl. She sets the bowl down a couple feet in front of me and retreats back to chew on her own food. I tentatively approach it. The bread smells like heaven. I lick my lips on instinct. It must have been ages since I last ate because I watch her tear chunks from it and mark every little crumb falling onto the floor. Fuck. And I mark... Because I watch her tear chunks from it and mark every little crumb falling onto her white dress with yearning. I look down at the bowl she'd left for me. The sight of red, fleshy chunks greets me. Raw meat. She gave me a bowl of raw meat. I can't eat this. Or, well, maybe I could. But the idea of it has nausea coursing through me. I stare at the fresh blood pooling at the bottom of the bowl. Then I glance over at the bread. Then back to the bowl, feeling conflicted. My stomach growls. I can feel saliva start to drip down the side of my mouth. I can't do it. I'm so curious. Oh, you won't be able to stay? That's fine, Lupa. I hope you have a great time with whatever else you're working on. Or doing, I don't know. The game's been fucking great so far, but I do have a theory so far. I am, because of fucking Basil's aversion to, raw meat, I don't think that would make much sense for, like, an actual feral wolf. I don't think that's necessarily... I think... And the fact that they, like, recognize, you know... Why is the sky red? Because the game has a very limited color palette on purpose, because it's very fucking sick and does a lot of work with contrast. I want to see her smile again. It's cute. This looks sick. It's really fucking good. But I'm wondering if maybe Basil used to be human or something, and then the woods maybe cursed him or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but the aversion to raw meat at least indicates that they are someone who has at least had some sort of, like, civilization, or, like, because if they're a wolf pup, it wouldn't make sense for them to be like, I'm a vegetarian. I mean, obviously they're not, but, like, if they're used to, like, prepared food. And the grandmother from the opening, he mentioned his grandmother speaking, which I don't think wolves talk. Obviously, it might be, like, wolf-to-wolf communication, but I'm not entirely certain. Because I don't think there's a clear differentiation between, like, we're not trying to talk. For the most part. So I'm not sure. I'm thinking.
Are you gonna let it go to waste?
Oh, hi! Hello! Dove's voice comes from right above me, and fear flutters in my stomach.
Okay, then.
My eyes snap up. Dove reaches for me, and I flinch, scattering away. She kneels in front of the bowl and dips her hand into it, crushing a fistful of red squishy meat between her fingers. She brings the raw meat to her mouth. What the fuck? What the fuck, man? Girl, what are you doing? I freak out! What the fuck are you doing? Don't eat raw meat! I rush forward and clamp my teeth on her sleeve, tugging her arm away from her face before she can eat the raw bits of flesh. The sudden change in momentum throws her off balance. She throws her arm out in front of her to catch her from falling over. She stares at me in bewilderment and blinks. The raw meat slips from her hand onto the floor. Blood seeps through the cracks and soaks into the grain of the wood.
What is it?
She picks up the bowl and stares into the clump of tender flesh.
Has the meat gone bad? Has the meat gone bad?
She brings the bowl to her face and gives it a sniff. Her nose scrunches.
It smells okay still.
Dove stands up, scraping the pieces of the meat off the floor and throwing them back into the bowl, then starts to leave.
Fine. I'll get you something a little more savory.
Dove returns with a new bowl of what looks like stew. I inspect it thoroughly, checking for insects or anything inedible. When I surmise that there's nothing of the sort, I dig in greedily. My eyes begin to sting after the first few bites. This stew is so bland. It makes me yearn for my grandmother's cooking so badly. Okay, definitely. Okay, I think this helps confirm my at least non-wolf form, because last I checked, wolves do not cook. Or at least I've never seen one. What the dog doing? Evidently making some goddamn stew. Fucking expert chef. Honestly, if they could, I would be impressed. Maybe grandma's just built different. I don't know. It makes me yearn for my grandmother's cooking so badly. From the corners of my eyes, I see Dove watching me like a hawk. Like a single blink is enough to make me vanish. If only I could. As I finish eating the stew, a soft thudding captures my attention. Hello, Kian Lua. It's lovely to see you. I look back to see my tail wagging against the floor. I feel myself shrink with embarrassment. I immediately cease its movements, but not before Dove takes notice.
Looks like your energy has returned.
Her eyes move to my arm.
Does it still hurt?
I stare at Dove, then hesitantly put my weight on my wrapped up arm. The sharp pain is mostly gone, but a dull ache still remains. If the opportunity for me to run away came, I could probably do it, but not without difficulty. I make a frustrated whine. Dove tilts her head at me, considering my reply. She approaches me again, slowly this time. I hold my breath as she comes closer, her hands hovering near the collar around my neck. I'm suddenly hyper-aware of how quiet it is. There's no drum of rain or crack of thunder to be heard outside. I'm gonna go refill my water real quick, because this is a big voice acting stream, evidently. I've been doing it for like an hour straight, and I have already gone through my big-ass fucking water bottle, and so I'll just take like a two-minute break. I'll run ads, actually. That seems like a good place to do it. So that way nobody has to deal with auto ads while I'm, in the middle of a scene. That's right. I'm finally learning from my mistakes. Actually taking breaks midstream. This is shocking for everyone, but mostly me. I'm quaking in my goddamn boots. I'm pretty sure this is like one of the first times I've ever actually done this. I'm gonna be real. I usually stream like straight, but okay, I do very little things straight, but like, I'll run ads for real quick. Give me 3 minutes. I'll run a 3-minute ad. Hopefully that should be good. Girl, there's no way you do things straight. You're not wrong, but you don't have to say it. But yeah, running this should give you guys about an hour of ad-free viewing, which I think is pretty nice. So Here we go. Let me run them real quick. Alright, I'll be right back. For those of you who are watching or subscribed, you don't have to deal with ads, but I'll be 2 seconds. Ba-ba-da-boop, bo-bow. I'll be 2 seconds. Whoop. Okay, and I'm back. There we go. Dubba-doo, bubba-doo-boo. Okay, ads are still running for a minute, so that's a little annoying, but it was the sound of my water bottle. It's a big ass fucking water bottle. We're gonna be drinking a lot of water. Big day for water fans out there. Okay. Let me know when you guys are done from ads. I am just gonna kill like 30 seconds where we just chill out. This game's really fucking sick so far, though, man. I'm really, really digging the art style. Like, I genuinely adore the game so far. I'm just... Look at us. We're just a sopping wet creature. Pat, 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 pat. Actually, wait. Fuck yeah. Okay, it says ads are over, so are ads over? Is everyone back from ads? Are we all good? I hope everyone's alright. Sorry about that. I went to go grab a water. Yeah, that's us. That's what we fucking look like. That's our protagonist. That's our Basil. Just a little fucking guy. I'm suddenly hyper aware of how quiet it is. There's no drum of rain or crack of thunder to be heard from outside. Hope dares to grow inside my racing heart.
Will you hurt me if I take it off?
I shake my head slightly. Dove gives me a curious look. Her hands hover for a short moment, then she nods. The weight of the collar lifts off my shoulders. Then I bolt. My swift escape shoves Dove aside. I barely see her get thrown on the floor as I make for the open bedroom door. Oh, this is gonna go terribly! We're fucked! This place is super haunted remember? Dove makes a panic noise behind me. Oh, look at her! Guys, she's so cute. baby girl. Fucking, I love her. I love her so much. She is... Windows notification. Hi, thank you. I love you, Windows. And by that I mean, fuck you, Windows. It fades out in my rush to leave her. It fades out in my rush to leave her behind. Then I'm back in the hallway where the horrors began. I need to get back to the kitchen. I sprint to the stairs. Then suddenly, I'm getting to a stop when a wall greets me at the end of the hall instead of the staircase. I stare in confusion. Did I go the wrong way? I look around the hall. I don't remember seeing this many doors. A sinking feeling unravels in my gut. That's fine. This is so fine. I run down a new hallway. Then turn into another. Then another! My exploration of the manor was cut short when I first arrived, so maybe I can't remember everything well enough. But I swear, these are not the same halls I walked through before! After I turn into a hallway number 15 in this new labyrinth, the sound of something being dragged cuts off my thoughts. I look behind me, fear pulsing in my veins. A ghostly figure slowly walks down the cross-section of another hall. Oh, what the fuck is that? Hi! Haha, what the fuck? Jesus. I hope everyone's been having a lovely, lovely day today, though. Marshmallow, hello! Howdy, howdy, how you doing today? We're a little puppy trying to get out of this fuck-ass mansion, and we just saw a ghost! I saw you follow before stream started. I thank you so much for that. I hope you enjoy your friend. It's a friend. I don't think it is. I really don't think that is. Or maybe, is Marshmallow your friend? Because that would make more sense, because that is a foe if I've ever goddamn seen one. It is going to eat me, and I'm not going to have a fun time about it, because I'm going to be... Look at it! Long hair protrudes from its head, running down to the floor stiffly like straw, hiding most of its long, thin limbs. I watch it disappear around the corner, completely frozen in my spot. On the map thingy, actually. Hell yeah! It's lovely to meet you! Thank you so much for popping by. This is Dicentra. It's been a very, very interesting, during my study. Fair enough. Welcome to Calgary, yeah. I actually want to pull it up. I'm really happy with it. I think I've kind of popped off with it, but yeah. I watch it disappear around the corner, completely frozen in my spot. Another ghost. I've never seen one this corrupted before. I now feel extremely vulnerable, like a beacon standing in the long and open corridor. A tapping noise is next. But yeah, I guess for those of you who don't know me, I'm Joey Curbs. I'm a voice actor. I have a I tend to voice act smaller indie games and like showing attention to games that they might not have heard about before. I do occasionally do more popular stuff, but like this is very much what I like doing most. Because I think there are so many cool indie games that just go underappreciated, and this one is very, very cool so far. I have been absolutely in love with the art style. I am so obsessed with it, like genuinely. The use of contrast, the stark red against the grayscale backgrounds. Oh, it makes everything feel so sharp. I love it. It's God, and like the very I guess I know I said it earlier, but the way it looks almost inked is really fucking cool. I really I am really enjoying the game so far. It's got a great sense of atmosphere. The prose is phenomenal. It's been really good so far. I'm really, really digging it. Like, here, I'll pull up the gallery again, but like, look at the art. Fucking look at this piece. Genuinely, this is insanely pretty. Yo, thank you for the follow, Pascogurt. Pascogurt? That is a... Pascogurt. That is a fun username to say, sorry. My heart pounds violently in my chest as I search for the sound. I immediately see another ghost heading straight for me. I yelp and crush myself against a wall as if it'll make me invisible. Ah, Jesus! What the fuck is that? God, the ghost designs in this game are sick as fuck, but Jesus! Yogurt. I don't think that's yogurt. It kind of does look like it's dripping, so maybe it was eating yogurt. Hungry little guy. Does it walk with its fucking elbows? This ghost staggers towards me with bony knees knocking together. A thin veil curtains its upper body, and something that resembles a bird's beak peeks out of its chest. Oh, Jesus. So that's what that is. The closer it gets, the better I'm able to make out the details of its leathery skin. The beady, bloodshot eyes that dapple across its face above the rotting beak. Needle-thin arms bend sharply at the elbow and reach back behind the ghost's head. It balances on its elbows and pulls itself forward on them. Oh my god, it is walking forward on its elbows. Jesus Christ. I make myself paper thin and shiver when part of its elbow brushes against one of my paws. I start breathing again when it passes quietly, then back into an intersection of hallways. Another ghost almost tramples me. There are so fucking many of them! God, their designs are so fucking sick, though. Look at this! Weird-ass fucking mushroom thingy and... Can I give you a hand? Jesus. Ugh, the art is so unsettling. I fuck with it. Two ghosts follow one another down the path of the bird-like ghost. One is a cluster of what looks like fungi and twisting fabric that melts in a bumpy flesh. A stringing network of mycelium trails behind it. The other creates a sound of glass crunching together with every steady step it takes. Its arms stick out like pieces of wood that lightly swing as it walks, and where its face should be is a void framed by jagged, broken pieces of porcelain skin. I can still make out the raggedy maid outfit uniform that clings to its bloated form. I follow the ghosts in a trance. Like a line of school children, they walk along a well-known path. Normally, when a ghost is corrupted from being trapped in the land of the living, every semblance of their humanity is lost. I'm so fucking confused right now. How do you know about ghosts, man? So where do these ghosts talk to with such purpose? They navigate the hallways without hesitation, twisting and turning through a route already well known. Then, so painfully easy, I have been led back to the kitchen. What the fuck is going on? I see Dove standing on the kitchen table, delicately twisting an incandescent bulb into the hanging light fixture. Dried black tears stain her cheek, but her expression betrays no sign of dejection. Another bulb is held loosely in her other hand. This one has been burnt out so badly no light can penetrate its ashy, blackened surface.
It took 40 years to develop this type of filament.
The ghosts surround her. I watch them reach for her, and I open my jaws to bark out a warning, but I choke on my rising panic. Dove doesn't notice them and continues to screw in the bulb.
I read that these bulbs can stay lit for up to 1,200 hours.
Claws brush against her skirt.
And yet, after less than a week, their legacy of shining in the dark has been snuffed out forever.
With one last turn of her wrist, light envelops the room.
Something so wonderful.
Dove stares into the bulb's light, and her fingers caress the glass.
Only breaks in a place like this.
Look at that fucking art! It's so fucking sick! It's so good! Look at it! Look at it, everyone! God damn! It's so good. I'm really, really loving the game so far. The ghosts have vanished. Dove gives no hint of awareness for the presence that I just left them. My blood thuds in my ears. Could she not see them? I look at the door that I had used to enter the mansion. Oh! I hear Dove. Look, she's probably already dead. I'm gonna be real with. No, probably not, but I don't. She's got some bigger concerns going on than fucking splinters. I hear Dove dust off her hands and toss the old bulb into a box where it shatters amongst other pieces of glass. She sighs wearily. How long will the cycle continue for? I barely hear her words. I instead stare at the wall where the back door should be. And there is no door. I immediately freak out. I run to the wall, ignoring the ache of my arm, and scratch at old wallpaper, hoping the door was only hidden behind it. My claws tear through wood, but as I continue scratching, the outline of a door does not reveal itself. I back away, staring at the shredded decoration and breathing rapidly.
It's not there anymore.
I turn my head up and see Dove sitting on the kitchen table, swinging her legs. She stares at the wall I had torn up and gives me a blank expression. I explode. My body ignites with fiery rage as I growl and snarl at her. I'm not barking. I'm not barking. You guys cannot make me bark. I'm not doing it. Oh. I explode. I do. That's very scary. She frowns and her eyes turn downcast with guilt.
I don't know how to get it back. I don't know how to get it back.
What kind of voice actor doesn't bark on command? SMH in my head. Me. I hate that there's a timer for these choices. I don't know what to do. I don't know what I want to do. But I'm assuming she's in the same predicament as we are, where we can't really get out. I look past Dove and see the window. I perk up. The window! We can break it! I pause and take note of how far the window is from the floor. Well, maybe not me. Dove sits on the table looking bored. I take a deep breath. Dove jumps and her eyes swivel down to me. What? I point my nose at the window and it takes Dove a second to understand my gesture. She blinks, then turns her head to the window. Her lips frown in confusion. The window? She looks down at me with furrowed brows. What about it? My tail wags behind me. I ignore it and look for something that'll help her understand what I want. I spot a stool underneath the table, and my ears stand straight. Dove leans forward and watches me drag the stool out with my feet. I throw my body weight back to pull it out until it falls over. Then I look at Dove and point my snout at the window again. She hops off the table and picks up the stool. She holds it up, still wearing a befuddled expression. You want me to... She raises a brow at me.
Put it by the window?
She's so cute. Oh my god. No, I want you to break the fuck out of the window. I huff.
Throw it at the window?
I nod and my tail wags quickly. Dove looks at the window hesitantly. She stares at her reflection in the glass.
I've never tried breaking the windows. I've never tried breaking the windows before.
Dove stumbles slightly when I grab the bottom of her dress and lead her to it. Oh no. Oh no, that's not good! But hello, Marshmallow. I do want to say, it's lovely meeting you. I hope you enjoy your stay, and as well as you, Pasco. When I feel her slightly resist, I look up and Dove's face appears paler than I thought was possible. I see her swallow before she starts moving on her own. She climbs onto the counter with the stool in her hands. It slips slightly in her grip and she wipes her hand on her dress. She raises the stool and my heart starts to quicken. The stool comes down, then stops. I whine in confusion. Dove stares into the window with wide eyes. I follow her line of sight, then see it. A pale hand grips Dove's arm. I look past it and let out a sharp cry. Oh, what the fuck? Hi! Ha ha! What? That's fine. That's so fine! Dove's reflection stares back, with blackened eyes and a wide, distorted smile that leaks dark bile. I can see Dove's hand tremble. Then, the reflection speaks.
Bad girl. You should know better by now. You should know better by now.
Familiar feeling of cold spreads through my veins. I hear Dove's breath hitch. Then, I hear something else. Tiny, wooden footsteps fill the silence. I stay completely still and slowly slide my pupils to see small flutters of movement from the shadows in my peripherals. I hold my breath. The footsteps start to grow louder. I hear Dove hiccup and my eyes slide back to her in panic. The reflection crushes Dove's wrist. Black webs spread from where they touch. Its beady eyes crinkle as its grin stretches wider. Then, It pulls Dove in close until their foreheads almost touch.
Behave, Dove.
The reflection barks out a howling laugh, then shoves Dove away from the window. Dove shrieks and flails her arms. I yelp and throw myself under her to soften her fall. She crushes me under her weight, and we fall into a messy heap on the floor. My vision swirls, and my whole body rages in agony. The sound of the reflection's laughter fades away, and wooden feet start to retreat to my relief. When we recover again, Dove stands on shaky legs, and I can see her trying to control the haunted expression she wears. She holds her wrist with a tight grip. Black veins now fade from where the reflection had touched her. I let out a soft woo. She got hurt. Because of me? Because of me. She stumbles to the table and plants herself back on top of it. I whimper and go back to scratch the door, more desperation. I'm sorry. Enough. I'm tired of seeing you wallow in your despair. I reply with an indignant huff. I see... Oh, she's so cute! Look at her! I love her. I love her a lot. She's so cute. Look at her. The baby girl. I see Dove puff her cheeks in annoyance. I turned my head away and rested on my paws. There's no way out! It's better for you to just accept it! It's better for you to just accept it. Even the front door is gone, so instead of wasting time, you may as well follow me and keep yourself occupied. I wish I could cry. My ears lay flat against my skull. I've landed myself right in the mouth of a carnivorous flower with the sweetness of shelter to lure me in. I should have noticed the sharp teeth at the entrance. I take a peek at Dove. She's like a caged bird in this house. Doesn't she hate it? How can anyone possibly live like this? Her patience reaches its end and she slides off the kitchen table. I cry out when she hauls me off the ground, and I bare my fangs at her when her face appears right before mine. My glare doesn't faze her. Follow, Wolf. There's much to do. We return to the labyrinth of hallways. Dove seems to know her way around them well. Now that I'm not frantically running through them, I notice a huge difference in the manor's atmosphere. Less dirt coats the floor, ceiling lights illuminate the hallways, and it almost feels peaceful. Dove stops by a closet in the hallway. She grabs onto the handles of the doors, and it opens up to reveal shelves and cupboards of miscellaneous tools and supplies. She climbs a stool to reach the highest shelf and retrieves a box with small buckets and brushes. I tense up at the side of the stool, beginning to sway back and forth. She climbs back down without issue before leading me in a room I recognize very quickly. She makes her way back to the broken side table I'd spotted when I was first exploring the rooms of the mansion, and I take the time to look around. A dining table with only 3 chairs takes up most of the room. Candles spike up from the top like stalagmites, but there's so many I think they'd render a fire hazard if they were to all be lit. Hardened wax drips over the edge. I can see the end of a fountain pen, as well as scraps of paper. I'm unable to see a well of ink from my position, but I assume that's what runs down the dusty tablecloth in dark splotches. A glint catches my attention. On the other side of the room, I'm unsettled by the mirrors that cover the wall from floor to ceiling. I swallow a lump that forms in my throat and do not let my eyes linger on them. I lay on the floor and watch her slather slung... Bleh. watch her slather strongly scented glue on the broken leg of the table. She roughly connects the broken leg to the rest of the table and fans it with her hand so it dries faster. She tests its sturdiness with a light finger, then scrunches her nose when it wobbles. Her expressions are so... I love this expression a lot. Also, is it just me or does it, like... It's, like, very slightly pink, which I think is very cute. I like that there's very subtle bits of red in the colors. I think that's really cute. It really helps it stand out, you know? She tests... But... She twists around and digs in her box, and pulls out a roll of twine with a bright expression on her face. Yo, thank you for the hydrate redeem. I appreciate it. Definitely a lot of voice acting here. So I'm gonna need a lot of water. My brows furrows together. Dove twirls the string around the leg and binds it rapidly. When she's done, she sets the table straight again. It still rocks unsteadily, but it stays standing. That seems to be good enough for Dove, because she picks up her box again and gives it a nod. I leap from my spot on the floor and spit into a loud noise. In the corner of the room, the long-haired ghost from earlier stands bent over a broken vase. I flinch when Dove lets out a startled noise and begins to stride towards it. I bark in alarm. It's dangerous! She ignores me.
Ziri.
I grab the back of her gown with my teeth to stop her. Dove's demeanor goes from angry to taken aback. She stops and looks down at me. I shock myself with my own actions and quickly drop her skirt. Dove considers me for a moment, then switches her attention back to the ghost and marches over to him.
You klutz! You klutz!
My jaw drops.
I don't need another person to clean up after.
The ghost faces its long fingers together and bows its head. When Dove gets closer to it, she stumbles and cries out. The ghost snaps its head back up to her. Dove checks the bottom of her feet and sees a shard embedded in the flesh. Red blooms from the small wound. The ghost makes a groaning sound and steps towards Dove. She hisses when it walks through the mess of glass and drags it with them. It's concerned for her? I observe their interaction, feeling befuddled. Everything I know about corrupted ghosts is being challenged. I pause to think about how the ghost rushed to her side earlier. The ghost tugs on Dove's skirt like it's asking for forgiveness. She continues to badger it while digging the shard out of her foot. I study them curiously. It wasn't because they wanted to cause her harm? I'm so confused right now. What is up? Something's fucking up here, man. I expected this place to be a lot more sinister. Now I'm very much intrigued. If you guys have any theories that you're having while watching, do let me know. I'm enjoying. I want to enjoy talking about the game with you all, because, dude, I'm really, really having a fun time with it. I trail behind Dove when she leaves to treat the small cut, and when she returns to clean up the mess. We leave the ghost, and Dove continues down whatever to-do list she has on her mind. While she paints over the scratches on the kitchen door, trying to match the old wallpaper, she speaks to me.
Have you met all of them already?
She doesn't speak again until we run into another ghost. It waits in the hallway for Dove. She perks up when she sees what it's holding.
Oh, thank you, Babble.
She takes a small bundle of red roses from it, freshly torn from its bush. I follow to her window and see a tall, thin glass vase with withered roses sitting on the sill. Dove takes out the dead flowers and replaces them. Then she pauses and looks down at something below. Her face reveals nothing as she tears her gaze away and makes her way down the hall again. Jill comes down at me. Her face reveals nothing as she tears her gaze away and makes her way down the hall again. Before following her, I stand on my haunches to try and peer out the window. A chill comes down on me when I look down and see a small patch of graves, each marked by a small wooden cross. I break away from the unnerving sight and turn towards the hall where the dove had gone down. She stands at the end of the hall waiting for me. The bird-like's ghost name is Grell, and the doll-like's ghost name is Odette. Dove introduces them officially when we run into them as we go around the manor doing mundane tasks. It's a sight I can't get used to. I can't understand how a small girl can act so normal around such monstrous beings. Seeing that their translucent, leathery skin or the fluids that drip from their decaying flesh is enough to send me reeling. But she doesn't flinch or fear. Earlier, when they had surrounded her in the kitchen, she could tell they were there, weaving their arms together to wrap her in a ghostly embrace. And she didn't care in the slightest. I start to think she's more disturbing than the ghosts. To become this corrupted, they would have to stay trapped in this plane for a long time. Why are they still here? What did I miss? I went to the hell dimension. You missed a lot. Okay, so the Ghost Girls chill with all the ghosts. We did see more ghosts. They're fucking terrifying. The designs are really fucking good, but we repaired a light. We tried to escape. Failed. She got grabbed by an evil ghost version of herself. Evil fucked up Jeff the Killer, and it was fucked up. It was fucked up and evil, and now she's just having fun introducing us to all the ghosts. She's real chill. Their horrific forms border on pitiful. Let me pull it up on the gallery. She replaced a light bulb. See? She's so fine. She's so normal. I can imagine absolutely nothing wrong. But I will say, who was right? It's a friend. I guess you were right, actually, Core. I don't know if you're still in chat, but evidently, yeah. Dumbass. They are surprisingly chill. They're just hanging out, man. To be this far gone, it has to be some type of hell. It has to be some type of hell. Dove walks amongst them like they're her family, though. No, that's not quite it. I rearranged my thoughts. Maybe the image of the graves flashes in my mind. It's because she's theirs. See? She's also very cute. Look at her. She's fucking baby. Gives her head pats. I watch her guide Grell's gangly limbs out of the hallway so they can pass through like they're nothing but an annoying sibling. A monster. Just like them. Maybe this cage she lives in is of her own making. Dove does these errands like a routine, putting books away in the library and cleaning up candles burned to the end of their wicks. By the time she finishes winding up the large grandfather clock in the hallway, the manor feels like a completely different place. The air is less stifled by dust particles, the rooms are brighter, and it feels more like a home now. As we walk back to Dove's room, the sun begins its descent into the blazing orange horizon, and the evening cicadas make their shrill voices heard. Despite the manor feeling more livable, there's a feeling that it gives me that I cannot shake. A void that looms like a presence. It's like letters left unfinished, or tea half empty, or turning cold. There's this sense of stagnation that places this manor outside of time's reach, and it leaves a noise that buzzes persistently in the air. Dove stops abruptly, and I almost trip over my paws trying not to run into her. I take a peek from behind her and immediately let out a yelp. The very first ghost I had met stands at the end of the hallway. Dove doesn't move. I see the ghost stagger down the hall towards us, and I instinctively back away. Then Dove speaks.
It's okay.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
Her tone is not very convincing. The ghost gets closer, and I can see the details of her leaking entrails. Jesus Christ, look at it. Jesus! What is her fucking deal? She's the only one drawn like that with the red highlights more consistently in her design. It's unsettling. She's very much distinct from the others in a way that very much leads me to believe that she's a little important. She looks like some fucking eldritch god. Also, what the fuck is that on her forehead? Is that a tattoo or are those her eyebrows? If those are her eyebrows, they're really fucked up. Then again, very little about her is normal. Also, I will say, the design of this is really fucking sick. Like, the way the arms transform into the laces of the gown. Mirroring here. Oh, like, it's fucking sick. It's really cool. That's a sick design detail, I just want to say. Like, the designs are so fucking good. It's really cool, but also, Jesus Christ, I hate looking at it. Also, does she blink? I thought I saw her. Okay, she does blink. The arm laces whole. Yeah, no, it's fucking crazy. Body horror, body horror, body horror. Goddamn right. God, this game's so fucking good. Fun fact, this game is free on itch. So, I will be going for the true ending, but if you guys want to see the other endings... Actually, I don't know what... We're gonna get a ending, and then we'll go for the true ending, I guess. Because I want to see where this leads, because I'm very interested. Please stop getting closer. I make a whimpering sound and hide behind Dove, keeping myself close to the wall.
She's harmless. She doesn't do anything.
I throw a quick glance at Dove when her voice falters. Watch. Ghost is right beside us. Its hollow eyes look down at Dove, and she holds its unseeing gaze with cold eyes. I don't breathe, but the acrid smell of rot overwhelms my heightened sense of smell. Tension between Dove and the ghost creates a pressure that thins the air, making my lungs ache for oxygen. Its pain seizes my chest just when I can no longer hold my breath in. The ghost continues down the hall passively. I exhale loudly. I startle when Dove clenches her fist beside me. Her eyes follow the ghost for a couple seconds longer, then she cuts off her stare and moves on. I quickly chase after her, not wanting to be alone with that particular ghost again, ever again, if my luck allows it. I look back for a split second, and the ghost has disappeared. Dove's shoulders are squared as we return to her room. Since the sun has set in the opposite direction of her window, the scattering of colors from this morning is long gone. Her relationship with the hallway ghost is much different from the others. The way she spoke about her seemed almost resentful. I pad to a corner, stalling for a moment when I see the collar from earlier on the floor. I narrow my eyes at it and pick it up with my teeth. Then I throw it at the far wall. I give the collar one last glare, then curl up on the floor. Dove settles cross-legged in the middle of her book towers and reaches for a random text. I let out a big yawn, feeling heavy after the events of the day. I don't know if there's enough time in the world to process everything that's happened to me. I don't know if there's enough time in the world to process everything that's happened to me since I left home. I close my eyes and feel the tendrils of sleep curl around me. Also, Maple, I do want to ask, how long ago did you leave to feed geckos? Because I don't know if you were there for my, Basil used to be human theory. Because I feel like... I don't know how long it's lasted, but... Hi, Dove. That's reassuring.
Do you think people can come back from the dead?
She asks it so quietly I almost don't hear her. I don't think she expects an answer. Yeah. And I can't give her one. Dove's roses. Oh, Jesus. That's so normal. Look at that! Reassuring. Don't you hate it when your walls start bleeding? Happens to the best of us, I'm sure. All the fucking time. Just, it won't stop. I wince at the bites. The fuck does that mean?
The roses are extra hungry. The roses are extra hungry today.
Oh. Oh, this is Dove narration! It always stinks. Hungy. Look, sometimes you're just real fucking hungry.
I wince at the bites. Roses are extra hungry today. After not feeding them for a while, the petals have bleached to a stark white. I watch as my blood saturates the colorless flowers, then narrow my eyes when I spot a parasitic fungi at the base of the bush. Part of the bush is already starting to wither because of it. I reach down and tear it out harshly. Dirt sprays my gown and I crush the fungi in my fist. I know more will sprout in its place, but seeing such a blight this close to the rose bush makes a bolt of anger rise within me. Just seeing it makes me want to destroy it. I walk to a different section of the greenhouse and throw it right next to the corpse of the fungi's latest victim. My heart clenches at the sight. Its eyes are still open.
What?! I'm gonna need a second. Fuck you! I don't believe you. I don't fucking believe you. We have not been dead this whole time. We're definitely not a ghost. We ate food. Ghosts don't eat food. Case fucking closed, man. Case closed. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, it took a second. Well, some ghosts eat. Not true.
press my fingers down on the lids of the dead wolf, but it's too late.
Let's talk about the cutie. Rion, hi! How you doing today? It's so nice to see you! How you doing today? Oh my... Sorry, I just found out that we died, so we're not doing great, but... We're playing Dicentra. It's been a really fucking interesting game so far. I'm really enjoying it. But thank you so much for popping by. How have you been? It has been a while. I hope you've been well. For those of you who don't know, Rion's a really, really cool other VTuber. Go give her some support if you want. She's fucking amazing. I love the game. Yeah, no, it's gorgeous. Like, look at it. It's so fucking pretty. It's got a really it's very much a gothic horror visual novel, and I really, really fuck with it. Like, I recommend checking it out for yourself. I'll put the link in chat real quick. It's free on itch. It's really fucking cool. I've been voice acting it all stream, and it's been really interesting.
I press my fingers down on the lids of the dead wolf, but it's too late.
Working 2 jobs now, so it's been hectic. Ah, that's rough. I hope the pay is decent at least, but dear God, I can imagine that'd be stressful. I hope you're managing it all right. I hope you're taking care of yourself. Be sure to get some rest when you can.
It is great to see you anyways, though.
I wish the pay was... Oh, fuck! That sucks. That hurts. I'm sorry, man. Oh, that's fucked. I'm sorry.
But it's too late. The terror on its face is already cemented in time. My fingers curl, and my nails stab into my palm, making the bites sting. I return to the rose bush and continue feeding them. Thunder and lightning thrash above me. Will it lure in another pitiful soul tonight? I hear a door slam and I flinch, crushing a bulb in my hand. My ears listen intently, searching for lingering traces of his presence. When I find none, I take a deep breath, and finally let myself relax. I tear the bulb from its stem, and my hands fall to my sides. The sound of the rain is so clear now, as I close my eyes to let it wash out everything else.
Pays enough for me to live, plus I get Sundays off. That is nice, at least. It's still not ideal. From all the hours I just hope you're doing alright, you know? Take care of yourself. Ultimately, we gotta do what we can to survive, but that doesn't mean you don't have to, you know. Your health is the most important thing. I don't know. I'm rambling, but
I relish in its violence against the roof of the greenhouse and tremble under the crisp cracks of thunder. To pass the time, now that it's mine again, I whisper something that my mother taught me under my breath. Then I hear a whimper come from behind me.
what the fuck? So that's where we started. So what? What? Are we dead or not? Probably, actually. We're definitely a ghost.
Death returns. I look up from my view of worn book spines and see Duff. She sits in a creaky wooden chair with her knees drawn up beneath her chin. She brushes pale fingers across the rough paper of a large tome sitting open on the desk in front of her. The desk looks like it's made of dark wood, with deep grooves and jagged swirls that have been carved by something sharp.
But yeah, I hope I can help you relax for a bit. I'm enjoying voice acting the game a lot. It's been really good. Since we last talked, I have become a voice actor. I do it a lot, and I'm really enjoying doing it. I think game has been really interesting. I have so many fucking questions, but man, is it it's so good. It's so good. It sits tucked away in the back of a small library in the mansion. Large bookshelves loom around us like trees in a dark forest. The narrow arched window above the desk and dripping candles are the only things that light up this dark and decrepit space. I didn't know the mansion had such an intimidating space like this until we'd wandered in earlier. Today's itinerary did not include any of Dove's peculiar chores. Instead, she spent the time wandering around the manor with a notepad and a stick of charcoal. I follow her as she roams aimlessly through the halls, weaving in and out of different rooms. As she continues wandering, mind and body seemingly detached, I carefully inspect every inch of the manor, desperate for a sign that proves this house can be cracked open, allowing me to finally return home. At some point, she stops wandering to sit and curl up at the foot of a decorative stone bust. When I look past her darkly smudged hands, I catch glimpses of pages portraying the same bust over and over again. I don't think it's possible for her to draw that quickly in such a short amount of time. I wonder if she has her subject memorized by now, considering how familiar she is with it. Dove seems to be drawn to art. Her sketchbook joins her throughout all of her tiny efforts to kill time in this house that she cannot leave. I'm beginning to think that the professional paintings lining the hallways have some influence on this creative side of her. Perhaps she's inspired by someone close to her? Or maybe she is just intensely curious? Or maybe she's just intensely curious. I do wonder, what happened to her family for her to end up in such a bizarre state? My thoughts trace back to my arrival at the mansion. There's someone who's yet to reappear, and I strongly hope that I'm gone long before he makes his appearance again. Dove surprises me when she walks into a new room during our walk. I cautiously follow her in, and the room reveals itself to be a library, full of grit and darkness. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I can see dust particles floating silently in the small beam of light that filters into the room. It tickles my nose and makes me sneeze, throwing me forward into a roll until I land on my back with a view of the spiderweb-infested ceiling. Dove pays no attention to my fumble and carries on to the back of the room until she reaches a stack of books. I shake my head to recover, ears flopping against my skull, and follow her to the rest of the way in. As I delve further into the room, I quietly observe the floor-to-ceiling rows of bookshelves. All of them seem to vary in width, rearranged in a pattern that seems maze-like. Books stand in tall piles scattered around the floor like they've been thrown around carelessly. My ear gives a small twitch at the sound of one hitting the floor, and I turn my gaze to Dove. She silently slips into a chair with a book in hand. I see her focusing on reading, and after settling into the desk, and I slump to the floor. Today's humidity has followed me like a blanket I can't push off. It's so thick, it feels like I keep walking into a wall of heat. Dove doesn't seem as bothered by it, but she's not the one covered in fur. I start panting out loud enough to draw Dove's attention away from her book. She glances over and wrinkles her brows at me. "What's wrong with you?" I tilt my head in confusion. Her eyes rake over me inquisitively, and then they brighten. She hops out of her chair. I start to stand so I can follow her, but she's already speeding out of the room. "Stay here!" My ears flatten anxiously, but I slide back down to the floor. It's too hot to move anyways, I guess. Dove soon returns carrying something in her hands and I go on edge. Please don't have raw meat again. My body tenses when she sets a bowl in front of me, then I immediately relax again. "Oh, water!" I give Dove a quick side eye. Her attention is already settling back into her book. After drinking a belly full of water, I plopped down on my side, feeling much more refreshed. I blinked blearily after a noise disturbs my brief midday nap. Did Duff just say something? This is reassuring. I love quiet whispering. That's great. I flinch and tilt my gaze up after Duff slams the cover of a book shut. She lets out a large sigh and throws her arms straight over the desk with her head bowed beneath them. She then turns her head towards me.
Have you ever seen a witch?
My ears perk up. Why did she ask that? Dove is clearly not a witch herself, as far as I've been able to tell, at least. I can't imagine what kind of witch would want to spend their time meticulously drawing the same thing over and over again. And Dove feels within my reach. No witch can make me feel that way. However, the possibility for her to have any connection to a relation to a witch is increasingly tangible. Only magic can explain the things this mansion is brimming with. I can't find comfort in a place like this, but avoiding a run-in with a witch has been a blessing considering the obvious traces of one. If only I could ask Dove for answers. The more I learn about this place, the more questions I have. It's so frustrating not being able to speak. Okay, yeah. Oh my god, the big poofy eye! Oh my god, that's cute. That's cute. Maple, do you have any theories so far? House of Leaves. Can't fucking leaves. Devastating. Well, I've been trying! A book Dove had been leafing through now sits before me, open to a random section. Can't help but let my gaze flicker down to it. My eyes widen as I take in the contents of the page before me. Strange symbols and cursive writing fill every inch of the old parchment. I stand and draw closer to see better.
Curious thing, aren't you?
I look up and see Dove facing me in her chair, observing me with her head resting on her palm. I freeze under her stare. My eyes dart to the book again.
You know that has a 100% mortality rate with cats. You know that has a 100% mortality rate with cats. With cats.
To fuck you! I'm very curious and I've never died! So fuck you, bitch. Don't fucking spread misinformation on the internet. Mean to me. Cruel.
I tip my nose up at her.
Good thing I'm not a cat. Dove narrows her eyes. The corner of her lip twitches. She unravels her curled limbs and stands from her seat. From there, she drags her bare feet across the floor until she reaches the open book, kneeling down and flattening her palms over its pages.
Well, I suppose there's more to the cat story than people think. Well, I suppose there's more to the cat story than people think.
I can only catch a quick glimpse of the rough circle carved into the hard leather of the book before Dove grabs it and flips it closed. She then opens it again to the first few pages with undelicate hands. I read the words at the top of the page. Death returns. Dove traces her fingers over the words. Satisfaction brings it back. I feel my tail wagging at the base of my spine as I look up to Dove.
Would you like to learn about magic? It's not just something anyone can do.
My yellow eyes meet her blue ones. Magic. Nothing has ever haunted me more. And now, like a candle has been lit at the bottom of an abyss, I can finally search what I've always yearned. I can't imagine any consequences from investigating magic! Blue eyes, give her context, please. Damn. Bob hates the color blue? That's fucked up. The moment I give my answer, something about Dove changes. Like hot embers fanned in the wind, her pale eyes glow in the dim light. Oh, okay. Eggy check. Let us go. For those of you who are new to the stream, I do these for every stream. They're very, very cool. And oh, damn! Yo, get funky with it! Oh, Lamau. What the fuck? This showing pretty clothes pose. Evil sleeves. That's so pretty! Oh, it's my girlfriend! Hi! Hi, hello, hi, 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 hi. Give her a little kiss. Give her a little kiss on the forehead. What? Yeah, good enough. You get a little kissies. God, it's so pretty. Oh, God. That's fucking evil. That is really Brazil. Oh my god, that's good. That's really good. Slort. Become dog. That's that one Detroit game, right? The Hungy. Oh, you drew Dove so pretty. Chillin'. The fucking bug. Forbidden Kool-Aid. The dog is fucking dead. God, your art is so fucking pretty. Your art is so pretty. You did such a fucking good job, Wob. Oh my god. I don't know what the fuck that voice was, but oh. Evil sleeves. Evil sleeves. Sinister sleeves. Very scary sleeves. God, you fucking killed it, man. I don't know what to tell ya, but every fucking inch of this is fucking perfect. Her and her best friend. Her bestest friend in the whole wide world. Brazil. God, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. You did amazing. I always love seeing your contributions. And I just love hanging out with you in general. You're an amazing partner, and I love you very much. Gives you a head pats. And I think that was Maple who doodled something. I don't know if they're still here. Fucked up. Can I have love and monetary value? If I had money to spare, you would have it, man. I'm broke. I can give you $5 billion in curb coins. Just kidding. No, I can't. I wish I could give you 5 million in curb coins. I wish I could do curb coin giveaways. That'd be funny. But you're literally white. How is this possible? Cursed by God, I guess. I feel my heart thumping in my chest. Oh, she's so normal! Jesus. Her mouth stretches wide. I can see the points of her canines, and her gums are black. Dove rarely smiles, even more so with teeth. I hold back a shudder. This time, I know for sure that my heart does not race in fear. Dove looks directly into my inhuman eyes. A malevolent grin creeps across her face. In that moment, I knew she could see her fiery eyes reflected in. She's so. I love her. Me when I wiggle my eyebrows aggressively. She's so determined. I like her a lot. You know, me when I. My eyes walk across the first page, my chest blooming with excitement. A book about magic. I've never been able to read one before. They were all removed before I could get the chance. Everything you could ever want to know about magic is written in this book. It's the Witch Bible, after all. My mouth goes dry. For a moment, I imagine myself elsewhere. I'm back with my grandmother, sitting on the carpet by the fireplace and having my burning questions dismissed once again.
Your birth brought you freedom, Basil. One day you will understand that. I can only smother my disappointment with a short reply. No matter how many times I asked for an explanation, she would always deflect or ignore my probing. So I stopped asking and started searching for my own answers. I see nothing special about myself, but I could be. I slowly look up at Dove. She stares deeply into my eyes before looking back down into the open book. Then she starts reading.
There's much to know before one uses magic, and it all begins with death.
I take a deep breath and my ears stand up attentively.
From the moment of birth, sentient bodies accumulate toxins, energies, and resources. Upon death, these bodies begin to rot and break down, returning these compounds to the environment. It's hard to believe, but in the state of decomposition, new life is abundant in the absence of an old one.
I immediately deflate.
What?
My silence must have been deafening because Dove snaps her head back at my reaction. In spite of my ability to be truly expressive with my canine features, I must have created quite the emotional response because Dove seems completely flustered. A deep scarlet burns her cheeks, its heat crawling up to her forehead. She awkwardly looks down and starts fidgeting with her fingers.
Wait.
Her brows quickly pinch together. I start to think she might actually be embarrassed. My jaw drops slightly in disbelief.
I
watch her swallow a lump in her throat.
I realized that was probably difficult to understand.
I forgot to breathe when Dove looks at me once again, with fingers tightly intertwined in round eyes.
You're really listening.
Dove looks at me in complete astonishment, and I'm at a complete loss in how to react. Dove runs a hand through her messy hair and recollects herself. She returns to the book in front of her, starting from the beginning again. There's a certain type of energy that is created in the process of decay.
That energy is magic itself, existing in the plane between life and death. This plane is also known as the ether. No living being can ever see it. It's an inevitable occurrence. Death is guaranteed in the circle of life. It's cruel, but necessary. Because when death blooms, new life persists.
Dove tilts her head and flips through the pages of the book.
Of course, I'm only summarizing the complexities. It's not as simple in practice because magic is not something that can be contained by any laws we've observed in nature. At least, the ones we know. In fact, magic is no different from a species you're probably familiar with. Mushrooms.
Oh god! Magic is fungi! I love My Little Pony. She leans over the witch Bible, balancing on one arm and holding up her pointer finger.
Let me explain. Mushrooms are the only thing in nature that do not follow a logical system. Normally, creatures with such bright colors always serve as a warning to stay away. Through evolution, both flora and fauna have developed characteristics that allow them to survive long enough to pass down that trait.
Also, from what I can gather, this game has 4 chapters. So I think we'll be splitting this game into 2 parts because my throat is already starting to feel a little bit black, and it's been 2 hours of straight voice acting. So I'm gonna be nice to my throat.
But with mushrooms, none of that applies. Bright or dull, big or clustered, you can't tell if a mushroom will kill you based on looks alone. You can't tell if a mushroom will kill you based on looks alone. Hydrate, thank you very much. The only way to find out is to eat it.
I gulp. That makes a mushroom sound like old gods.
But back to the topic at hand. What the fuck? That's very normal. Thank you.
Dove flips to a new page, and I pause at the sight of scratchy doodles that make the words on the page illegible. Definitely Dove's handiwork. Magic can be unpredictable and unstable. By this logic, areas with little death hold little magic. Likewise, places with an abundance of death hold an abundance of magic.
I ate mold once. It wasn't as magical as I thought it would be. Yeah, today I just got poisoned. Bummer.
Places like cemeteries. I nod in understanding as Dove continues. It's the reason ghosts love to linger around there so much. Dove crosses her legs and rests her head in her palm. She hasn't been turning the pages of the book, yet she explains everything in perfect detail. Just how many times has she read this book?
Mold and Basil's alive. Yay! Probably. Where'd you go, Maple? You died for like a solid half an hour.
I've been told that witches become empowered by corpses buried deep up beneath their feet, and with that power comes tragic silence.
Dove's expression becomes solemn.
But in that silence, there's also an earnest level of respect from those who have passed away.
Me personally, I let my food rot to black. Oh, fuck, yum. Waiter, more rot, please.
She pauses for a moment, then starts turning the pages again. When she finds the page she wants, the corners of her lips perk up. Or a satisfactory feast.
My ear twitches.
However, there are two exceptions to this. In spaces void of death, magic is completely unusable. Most witches usually avoid them like the plague. When the shimmer of magic runs through your veins as naturally as breathing, being there feels like gravity is amplified tenfold. It may be the closest thing to feeling human for a witch. On the contrary, a place plagued with too much death becomes dangerous for everything in it. Without caution, the magic can overflow and seep through the cracks between planes, corrupting everything it touches. And this is where witches come in. Dove turns to a new page. The spread before me makes the fur along my spine stand up.
The baby machine! Infinite baby generator! Scary. I'm terrified, trembling in my goddamn boots.
Greeted with an illustration of demons holding what appear to be babies? Are they human? Or perhaps they're... Something in my brain clicks. I know this part. The concept of witchlings are receiving the devil's blessings at birth to become full-fledged witches. My grandmother knows how to attain this blessing, but refused to tell me no matter how much I asked. It's a miracle I even know this much from what little she told me. Dove pauses to stare at the illustration. I nod my nose in her direction as encouragement to continue. Every witch begins with the devil's blessing. Once they receive the blessing, they're bound to hell.
Fun! Basil, why did you want the blessing in that case? Please send me to hell, please! I'm just imagining this like little boy. Please, I really want to go to hell.
Did you know that witches have 3 commandments?
I blink.
Of course it's 3. 1. Know God before the devils. 2. Thou shalt honor the devil's gift. 3. Magic shall never be used without the devil's permission. Dove frowns as she states the last commandment. She didn't mention how witches receive the blessing. I whine in disappointment. Dove seems to completely misunderstand my reaction. Are you scared? Don't worry, demons won't be making deals with a little puppy like you. I snort in annoyance. The relationship between demons and witches is symbiotic. Because witches can access the ether, they can utilize magic. The more magic they use, the more powerful is imbued in hell. The demons who reside in hell can extract that power and use it to create the chaos they love so much. I let out an involuntary shiver. I can't help the anxiety that rises from the knowledge of using magic to provide enrichment for beings that love nothing more than trouble.
Infinite food. Infinite baby generator.
However, when witches don't just exist for demons to live vicariously through them, they have the responsibility of keeping magic levels in balance. That's so boring to talk about, though. The most important thing in the book are these.
Dove shows me a page filled with magic circles.
Using magic is a little different from fairy tales. You can't just conjure something from nothing with a swish of your hands. Switch of your hand, fuck. Not without a couple steps, at least. Magic is... it's far more similar to... Dove taps her index finger on her chin.
Oh, it's like baking! It's like baking! I feel my brows pinch in confusion. Magic is like making cakes.
Well, you see, baking requires perfect measurements.
Dove flips through the Witch Bible until she lands on her desired page. She then lifts the book and presents it to me. Strange symbols greet my eyes.
Each one of these symbols represents elements. These are your ingredients.
She turns to a new page filled with various illustrations of circles.
In order to use magic, you need to gather the right elements and place them within a circle that looks like... just like this one. Every space within the circle is like a number. This is why magic is like baking. The ingredients and measurements must be exact. A single miscalculation could be the difference between enhancing a rose and killing it. Oh, one more thing. For every spell in this book, there is a secret ingredient.
Dove slides a page between her middle and ring finger until the paper meets the webbed skin of her hand. Without even flinching, she pulls her hand across the paper. I immediately cringe away like I could feel the stinging sensation of paper slicing into her sensitive skin firsthand. Dove holds her hand out and pinches the flesh around the paper cut, pushing out beads of scarlet. She sets the Witch Bible flat on the floor again and hovers her hand over the drawings of circles. More blood runs from the cut and forms a crimson droplet that hangs from the tip of her finger. It feels like minutes go by before the droplet finally falls from her hand, staining the paper below. Ma'am, what is your deal? The sound of blood dripping onto the page echoes in my ears like a ticking clock. I focus on the way the blood splatters on impact right in the middle of the circle, then runs down the curve of the paper until it finally fully soaks into the parchment.
If you've made your spell correctly, all you need is a little witch blood to make it transform before your very eyes.
So she is a witch!
Into art.
Dove curls her hand into a fist.
Witchlings may not have a demon's blessing, but we are surely not human. We come from fire and brimstone after all. Magic belongs in our veins. Just because we're not connected to the ether doesn't mean it isn't there. Just waiting for our call.
Dove leans over the bloody drawings with hunger in her eyes. Her hair falls like a curtain of bramble around the Witch Bible. The sight makes me think of putrid veins that spread from an infection.
One day, we won't need anyone's blessing to take what's ours.
Yo, transgender! I tense up. She notices my stiffness and gives me a small smile.
Are you intimidated by magic now? Don't worry. There's no need to go through something as advanced as creating your own spells. That's what the Witch Bible is for. It contains all the spells you could ever need.
Dove trails off. Looks like she has more to say, but she hesitates to express her thoughts. I rest my head on my paws as the silence stretches. Dove's expression sours before speaking again. I want more, though. My head lifts. These spells aren't enough for me. She narrows her eyes at the Witch Bible and smothers the parchment with her hand before crumpling it into her fist.
I blink in surprise. Witches are brave enough to walk the earth as hosts for parasitic demons in hell, and yet... Dove looks down at her open palms, her gaze lingering on her wound, blood now clotted. She starts raising her voice, and I flinch in response. And yet they bind themselves to so many rules! They can use magic! They're the only ones that can use magic! All the possibilities in the palm of their hands! But what's this? Dove shoves the books open, showing the words carved on the inside of the back cover. Do not use magic on people! Do not waste magic with minuscule pursuits! Always keep your magic levels balanced! Never take too much! Her face contorts in frustration with every line she reads. They smother themselves! They make themselves so small. They do not pursue progress. There is only tradition that, this, and tradition that. It drives me mad! Dove suddenly grabs the witch Bible and violently throws it. I jump out of the way as it bashes into a wall. A flurry of papers erupts when it slams into the desk beneath it. Dove stands, huffing out short breaths and clutching her fists as pages fly down around her like snowfall. The sight haunts me. It's like seeing a glimpse of a dove free from the walls that contain her. Everything you want to know about magic is written in the Bible. But I want more. As I watch the papers flutter to the ground, I notice something written on all of them. Alchemical compositions sketched with impatient scrawl litter every page I see. The symbols and circles look like nothing like what I had seen in the Witch Bible. Dove mutters something to herself. I'm not afraid like they are. Temperature around me drops. I almost expect my breath to cloud my face when I exhale. Just what is Dove trying to create? Holy shit! Dove drifts back to the desk, but she doesn't sit back down. She just stands there instead, completely lost in thought. I look around the room, feeling awkward in the silence.
I just want to say this music reminds me a lot of the Chrono Jotter. Actually, it might be the exact same track. I think it's the exact same track. No, probably not. It just sounds very familiar. Probably. I'll need to check later.
Eager not to sit in it for a second longer, I stand and get ready to wander off. I turn back and give Tuff one last glance before trotting away. I wander around the library, observing the piles of dusty books on the floor and the worn spines that crowd the shelves.
Did she make the Eldritch Abominations by trying to cheat death? No, I believe the Eldritch Abominations are ghosts. But... maybe, actually. You might be... She might have, she wants to make the perfect grilled cheese. You know what? That's real.
One book in particular captures my attention. I take nimble steps closer to inspect a strange object hugging a book on a bottom shelf. It resembles a spider with long and bony appendages that stretch around the cover. Something about it fills me with unease. I start to back away when out of nowhere, I'm thrown onto the floor and air is knocked out of my lungs. Bum, bum, bum. I let out a yelp, quickly realizing that was a mistake. Something tightly wraps around me, constricting my movement and making it difficult to breathe. The more I struggle, the tighter the grip becomes. My eyes begin to sting as I catch a glimpse of the strange book I saw earlier.
Its cover is now bare. The spider-like object that had wrapped around its spine is now crushing me with its limbs. Footsteps rapidly reach my ears, and I see Dove appearing around the corner of a bookshelf. I can see the look of surprise etched on her face. A strange reaction to seeing me get crushed to death! I thought he got rid of that. She finally shows panic when I let out a pained bark. Dove rushes over and drops to her knees. I can feel her bony hands trying to dig under the spider's legs, but it digs into my flesh in the process. She pulls her hands back and bites her lip. I then feel her grabbing me again and hauling me into the air. Just hold on! I can fix this! I can fix this. Just hold on a second. I can fix this. Her confidence is betrayed by her wavering voice. Is this it for me? It's a miracle I even made it this far, at least. My breathing quickens. No! I don't want to die like this! I thrash my body in Dove's arms, fighting back against the constricting creature. I can feel my vision turning fuzzy as Dove bursts into a room I've never been in before. She slips on something that sounds like paper, sending us both tumbling to the floor. I let out a weak cry while Dove lands hard on her hands and knees. The spider continues to tighten its grip. Dove wastes no time rushing over to the shelf to rifle through bottles and drawers for something. When she finally finds what she's looking for, she quickly reads the tag attached to it and hurries towards me. I see her uncork a bottle with a swirling purple liquid before pouring its contents onto me. I feel a searing heat drip onto my skin as the spider screeches. I howl in agony when some of the liquid drips onto me, and Dove releases a gasp. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get it onto you! I'm sorry! I didn't mean to get it onto you! I whimper to cope with the pain. The only relief I can feel is the loss of suffocating pressure around me. Dove moves away to retrieve a cloth and clumsily dabs at the stray purple fluids that have gotten on my fur, making them sting even worse. When she leaves my sight again, I look to my side and see the spider-looking object curled into itself and unmoving. Dove stops for a moment, stumbling in the process, and gives it her attention as well. I'm not sure how I expected her to feel over the aggressive little creature that almost killed me, but the face she makes catches me off guard. She looks like she's in mourning. Dove nudges the spider with her foot. I held my breath in fear that it'll spring back to life and make a second attempt to take my life. What a shame. My head perks up. That was my first successful spell. Oh no. That's not good. Hi, what the fuck did you do? Oh god, she's so normal and has done nothing wrong in her entire life. My blood runs cold. What does she mean? You've seen quite a few of my spells by now. Dove looks down at her hands and starts counting fingers. The rose bush, the viper cage, the book spine. The sound of something tapping against glass makes me snap my head around. Up on a shelf, I spot what seems to be the source of the noise. Crimson-cloaked moths thrash around in a jar. Dove also looks up at them. Ah, those are mine as well.
Those are mine as well. Cute, aren't they? I gave them the raw meat you didn't want to eat, so they're probably hungry again.
She gives me a small smile and nausea ripples. She gives me a small smile and nausea ripples through me. These things are a success to her? She created these horrific creatures? She created these horrific creatures? That shouldn't even be possible! Dove can't use magic. Can she? No, I doubt it. I feel my mind racing. If she wasn't the one who created them, then who did? I hear Dove fuss around the room once again, and I take in my surroundings. It appears to be some kind of study or lab. Shelves and cabinets line the walls, filled with jars and bottles. The air's thick with the strong smell of herbs, fresh and stale all at once. It's almost overwhelming. When I look to the very back of the dark room, I let out a yelp. Light pours in from a small window and disturbingly outlines in it an arrangement of skulls around a dark frame. It looks like a mirror, but the surface of the glass is dull and doesn't reflect anything very well. The eye sockets of the animal skulls are shrouded in shadow, but they give me the creeping sensation of being observed. A familiar feeling I brush off with a full-body shake. It's a witch's shrine. Dove's voice frightens me out of my thoughts. She kneels beside me, looking conflicted. In her hand is a small jar. With a twist of her wrist, she unscrews the lid, revealing a pale green paste inside. This will help your burns. This will help your burns. I cower away from her touch as she tries to reach for me. I crash into something hard as I hide underneath the nearest table. Dove retracts her hands and presses it into her lap. I stare at her with wide eyes and crouch close to the ground, sheltered by the shadows. She opens her mouth to say something, but her words get stuck in her throat and her eyes catch on something behind me. She squints briefly before widening her eyes with recognition. She shoots forward. I yelp and scatter away to avoid her. When my body's pressing against a wall, I look to see if Dove has followed me. I get her in my sight, but her focus isn't on me at all. In fact, the mysterious thing under the table has her completely distracted. It scrapes against the floor as she drags it out. A box. It's beautiful. Rose and thorn motifs decorate the smooth, dark wood. Dove regards it open-mouthed, then snaps the chest open so abruptly that it tips back slightly. She slowly pulls something out of the box. I take a small step closer to see it more clearly. In her hand is a small, bloody pouch. I read a single word on a label attached to it. Babble. Oh, shit, that's the ghost! What the fuck? What the fuck? That's the mushroom ghost. That's the fucking mushroom ghost. Or wait, no, is it the crawly one? I might be getting it confused. I'll wait 2 seconds, I gotta refill my water, but holy shit. Holy shit, what the fuck? Why is the ghost in a bag? Oh, well, obviously it's dead now, but what the fuck? What the fuck, man? I'm gonna run a minute of ads while I go refill my water. So, see you guys in like a little bit. I'll be right back. Promise. And back. There we go. Fuck. It says as you're starting internet. That sucks. I can snooze it. Thank God. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I feel a chill crawl up my spine. What is that? What is that? What is that? I swallow heavily as I begin to imagine the worst. It couldn't be. I pad up to the box and shrink away when I see its contents. See the contents that lay in its red velvet lining. Bile rises in my throat at the sight of human remains. My eyes dart between the objects in the box. A clutch of dark hair tied together with a ribbon, a small bone, and another bloody pouch, all with paper tags attached to them. I don't need to read the rest of the labels to know what's written on them. Names. The names of all the ghosts that haunt this home. Except for one. Dove still holds Babel's pouch in her hands. A blank expression paints her face, but with closer inspection, I can see a faint tremble in her hands. She quickly tosses the pouch back into the chest and slams it to a close. She slides it back under the table and stands up, makes her way out of the study. I stand there, frozen, briefly forgetting how to move my feet. Eventually, I trail out behind her. Reluctantly so, 'cause I don't know what else there is to do. When I step out into the hall, Dove is nowhere to be seen. I look around, searching for a sign of where she might have gone. Everywhere I look offers no hint. I whine, then I start navigating through the confusing hallways as best as I can from memory. Eventually, I find Dove's bedroom. Dove is not here. I find myself feeling relieved and troubled. I walk over to the spot I slept the night before, drop down and listen to the noises of the house until I fall asleep. It's dark when I wake up again. I look around. I don't see nor hear a sign of Dove. A knot in my stomach forces me to get up. Being unaware of Dove's whereabouts fills me with anxiety. Being near here makes me feel like the horrors are with me instead of against me. I return to the labyrinth of hallways and walk around, keeping all my senses alert. I start to reconsider my decision to walk around the mansion at night, especially alone. Evening seems to be the time when she likes to walk around. As if I had spoken her into existence. A wet drag comes from behind me. I freeze in my tracks. There's a familiar tapping sound nearby. I see the hidden door leading to the roof next to me. I don't bother looking behind me and head straight for the door. I go straight up the stairs and to the roof. Wait, okay. Hello everybody. I have a theory. If we're running to the roof, if we run into the greenhouse. Saw you in W Place. Hi. Hello, Slotcore. How you doing? We are, what's yours? If we run into the greenhouse and die there, are we stuck in, not an actual time loop, considering time appears? No, never mind. I take it back. I think my theory's wrong. I think I'm very much wrong. I do think that the, ghost lady is definitely, I think, the root of it. I saw in W Place. Hi. Oh, sorry, I did see that. But hello, Slotcore, it's lovely to meet you. I'm Joe Kurz, I'm a voice actor. I tend to focus on more obscure indie games, and I hope you enjoy your stay here. I've been really enjoying this game so far. It's been really, really interesting. We're playing Dicentra. It's been fascinating. It's a gothic horror visual novel. It's been absolutely fascinating. It's brought up a lot of questions so far, and I am absolutely in love with it so far. It's been a very interesting game. I'm really, really happy I'm getting to share with you all. I hope you enjoy your stay. Unlike the last time I was here, a clear night sky spans high above me. Stars dot the dark, and for a moment I forget all about the things I was scared of. Cutesy stutters, pal. I will enjoy it. Thank you. I do appreciate it. I definitely fumble over my words quite a bit because I talk faster than I think. It's a bit annoying, but I do my best. I hope you enjoy your stay. Every time I see the night sky, I feel so small under its grandeur. When Dove spoke about magic earlier, I was frightened by how much it revolved around death. Before learning about it, I always thought magic felt like this. Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. Like it was art that could capture the spark of small joys. I rebelliously steal more time to admire the stars. And breathe in deeply, slowly. For even just a second, I want to remember how to sit still and get lost in everything I'm feeling. I want to gulp down the humid summer air, feel the gentle breeze brush against my fur, smell the sap from the trees, listen to the crickets ringing in my ears, and memorize the placement of every star I can see. Every blissful and uncomfortable sensation, and let it all sink into me. They all remind me that I'm still alive. And I hold that so tightly, because I'm so afraid of what I'll become if I can no longer see goodness when it's in front of me. The longer I stare at the sky, however, I squint. Stars seem so close. Something pulls me back to reality. I hear a voice. I turn my head and see a faint light. It's coming from the greenhouse. God, this is sick.
Foul little things. Don't you think, Babel? These ugly things keep consuming everything like a vengeful spirit. I'll never see what's so interesting about something so boring like weeds. Flowers are pretty, but their beauty is so fleeting. I tried to make these ones last longer, but they still end up dying when they're cut from their bush.
That is how plants tend to work, yes. They do. I cut out his heart, but he died. What the fuck? What the fuck? This is bullshit. I am curious about your theory, though, Maple. I do want to hear it, because I'm really enjoying it. But the reason I was kind of considering Time Loop is because at the beginning of the game, remember, she said our name before we said it. And we haven't been able to talk at all. Because, you know, we're puppy. So how the fuck did she know it? She hasn't said it since then, is also a weird thing. So I'm very confused.
Dove stands by the giant rose bushes with a lantern at her feet. Meanwhile, Babel busies itself nearby with a watering can. Is this where she's been all day? Dove hasn't noticed me yet. She takes a peek at Babel and makes a downcast face before looking back at her roses. Babel, do you remember how you let me plant seeds to grow tomatoes? Dove prods at a rose bulb and pulls her hand back before it can sink its teeth into her flesh. No matter what I did or how much you helped me, I couldn't even get it to bud. Babel gives no response. It quietly sets its watering can down and starts meticulously weeding the flower beds. You still put in so much effort to take care of these silly plants. I don't understand why. I spent so many hours in here just watching you, yet I can't even name anything. If I told you to let everything die, would you finally rest? Do you even know how to do anything else anymore? Dove moves to face Babel. You should have just left his stupid mushrooms alone! Then you wouldn't be stuck in this cursed state!
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Babel straightens up and holds out a bundle of flowers in front of Dove. Now that I have a chance to look, I notice that there's actually a variety of flowers in this greenhouse. Roses, daffodils, lilacs. Something that looks like lilacs, but with differently shaped petals. It definitely isn't a lilac, but its blooms do sprout in an interesting way. Perhaps I could find out what it is later. My grandmother didn't like teaching me about magic, but she was always willing to entertain my botanical curiosities. The ones Babel offers Doves are bleeding hearts, scientifically known as Dicentra spectablis. Dicentra spectabilis. I've always been fascinated by them because of their unique shape, their arching stems, and their hanging blooms that are just like hearts. My grandmother explained one of the things they symbolized. Unconditional love. Their meaning filled me with warmth when I heard it for the first time. I immediately wanted to learn more about it, so I did my own research on it and read through one of her books on the language of flowers. I learned bleeding hearts also represented something else. Heartbreak. Dove stands so still that I think she's somehow turned into a statue. On the surface, Dove is calm and collected, but behind her gentle visage lives a merciless beast, harboring in the trenches of her emotions.
Wait, okay. Okay, wait. I think I have an idea for where this is partially going thematically, where Basil is very much looks like a beast externally, internally very much a softer, kinder person, you know? Whereas Dove presents as more of a kinder, softer person, but inside, I think that interesting. I think that might be where it's going. I'm not entirely sure. Because she does seem genuinely nice. She does cry when she hurts us. She's not getting off on it at all. Like, but maybe. I don't know.
Dove shoots her hand out to smack the flowers out of Babel's tendril grip, letting them fall at her feet. Babel bends down and delicately picks up each stem again.
Oh, don't do that. That's mean.
Dove shoots out her hands to smack the flowers out of Babel's tendril grip, letting them fall at her feet. Babel bends down and delicately picks up each stem again. Dove's cheeks glow splotchy with red, and she holds her dress in tight fists.
Can't you just be here with me?
I hear her voice crack. Dove pinches her eyes closed. Or have you already been gone for a long time?
I think that was just traumatizing. Very much so.
I can't watch this any longer. The dead are never meant to stay longer than they're supposed to, despite some of their efforts in doing so. And despite the efforts of those that are not ready for them to depart. People never realize until they've lost someone forever. But the dead will immortalize themselves in your thoughts, whether you want them to or not. The emptiness they leave behind tends to grow into a mold you can never ignore. Body, soul, those can be gone, but memories, those cannot be killed. I twist around and take off, knowing what needs to be done. I hear Dove make a small noise behind me. My retreat must tipped her off to my presence.
You... No! Don't!
Her distressed scream almost makes me stop dead in my tracks, but I carry onward. I race into the study and skid to a halt in front of the box under the table.
Oh, this is bad.
I hear the thud of footsteps running after me. Using my paws, I claw and shove at the chest until it falls over and the lid pops open, spilling the contents out. I quickly scan through the pieces of paper attached to the remains. When I spot Babel's pouch, I grab it with my mouth and turn to sprint for the door. Dove stands there, out of breath, clutching onto the door frame. She glares at me and walks forward.
Bad dog! Drop it!
I clench my jaw tighter and stand my ground.
You have to let them be free!
I try to plead with her with my eyes. Dove takes a step forward and I take a step back. She holds her hand out towards me.
Give it back!
Give it back. I need it. I stare at Dove's hand, but something behind her catches my eye instantly. Dove twists her head around. We both see Babel lumbering through the hall holding an arrangement of flowers. She starts chasing after the ghost, and I'm hot on her heels behind her. The two of us step out into the hallway and trail after Babel. Babel takes its time moving around the manor. It stops at every empty vase on a table and places a fresh flower in each one, slipping into rooms and adding pops of color to spaces devoid of it. Dove and I observe it without saying a word. With every flowery addition, Babel brings brightness to even the darkest corners. When it finishes its rounds, it returns to the rooftop. Babel kneels before a cluster of violets and toggles a leaf side to side until it's pulled free from the soil. It then stands up and moves to a bench, wrapping one of its tendrils around a small knife in the process. It makes a small cut on the stem, then gently places it into a jar of water. I look up at Dove, who watches with lowered brows and narrowed eyes. I lift a paw and brush it against her skirt. She looks down at me from the corner of her eye. I take a deep breath. I face her and tip my nose up with Babel's belongings still in my mouth. Dove lowers her hand and I drop the pouch into it. I then look back up at her. Your friend worked so hard to bring you peace. Don't you want to show it your appreciation? Dove's breath hitches and her lips tremble. She stands up straight, dragging her feet towards the lantern she had placed near the rose bush. I follow Dove from behind. She slowly kneels before the fluttering flame encased in the glass. She calmly opens the lantern door and silently watches the flame with Babel's pouch on her lap. I can sense her mind racing behind her eyes, desperately trying to dig her nails into any excuse that'll delay her next move. Her throat bobs. Then she turns her head to look back at Babel. It hovers around jars of other propagating plants, none the wiser to what she's about to do. Dove faces the lantern again and squeezes her eyes closed. When she opens them again, her face is collected. She carefully brings the pouch to the fire and holds the edge in it until it catches. The brightness of the flame reflects in her pale eyes. She places the burning pouch on the tiled floor and we both watch the silk bag organically burn away, revealing the teeth inside it. They burn slowly, so slowly that I wonder if they'll ever be able to burn. Dove does not turn away to look back at Babel even once. Then, finally, all that's left are ashes and tiny shards. My eyes widen as Dove scoops the remains into her hands. She shows no sign of pain as the cinders singe her palms. She transfers it all to one hand, then takes a deep and shaky breath before crumbling the remains. Out of nowhere, I hear the faint sound of wind chimes. I look around, wondering where the sound had come from, and find nothing. Perhaps I had just imagined it. Dove pours the ashes onto the floor. I look behind her. Babel is gone.
Oh, fuck! Fun scene, fun scene, fun scene, fun scene. Very fun. Oh, that was... God, this game is really good. Whew, okay. How did you all feel about it? Because I'm like, wow, that was... Yeah.
The next few days after Babel's disappearance pass by uneventfully. By the third day, everything changes. I lay near Dove's feet in the library. I still have yet to find something that'll help me leave this place. Maybe the only way to escape is to become a ghost myself. But I have a feeling my freedom wouldn't be guaranteed at that either way.
Oh, wow, that sure was a... Yeah, no, I'm really fucking with the game so far. Like, it's so good.
Dove sits at her desk staring at notes in a daze. Her pencil has been completely still for a while now.
My heart stops. Dove's head snaps up. That sounded exactly like the front door from the day I came in here. There's a door. There's a way out! And my arm is fully healed! I bolt up and shudder with anticipation. My tail wags excitedly. I grab Dove's skirt with my teeth, wanting to waste no time getting to the... Aww. That's really cute. Instead of like running away from her this time, Basil's like tugging at her skirt, like being like, come on, please, 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 come on. Aw, she wants to... They want to... He wants her to get out as well. She crouches down and grabs my snout in her hand. You have to hide! That's great. That's reassuring. Pull back and look at her. Why would I hide? This might be my only chance to go home! But when I see the panic in Dove's eyes, I start to wonder why Doris returned. My gaze slowly shifts to the entrance of the library. I listen. I'm trusting her. That panic in her eyes is genuine as fuck. I do not want to die. The floorboards outside the library creak. Heavy footsteps echo, getting louder and louder. I stare at the door, paralyzed. What are you doing? Move! Move! Dove shoves me with her hands and I spring into action. Where should I hide? The footsteps stop right outside the door. I hurry behind a bookshelf and lower myself to the floor as flat as I can. The door creaks open and someone walks in. I try to control my rapid breathing out of fear that it'll betray my concealed position. I peek through the gaps. What I see haunts me. A tall gentleman enters the library, still in his outerwear with a cane tucked under his arm. I watch as he approaches Dove. I see her casually step in front of the notes she has scattered on the desk. The man takes off his top hat and holds it against his hip. I feel like my heart jumps out of my chest when I see his eyes. He's kinda hot! I mean, what? Oh god, like, damn! Damn! Dove resembles him a lot. He's a father to, like, oh my god, he's kind of... I'm taking a screenshot of him for the record. Okay, there we go. I got my screenshot. Actually, I'll send it to Curve Journal with just a caption, holy fuck. Drools onto my fucking keyboard. Dove resembles him a lot. They both have pale skin and inky black hair that spikes out like a lion's mane. What sets them apart, though, are their eyes. Dove's eyes are the blue of glaciers, while his eyes... It's said that animals that are brightly colored because of their toxicity are mostly active at night. That seems fitting for this man, because his eyes are the scarlet of a poisonous frog. A warning outlined by the dark markings that cover the hollow of his eyes. Daddy? Sorry, Daddy? Yeah, no, fucking real! I've seen markings like that before. Every witch has them. When he speaks, I almost yelp in surprise. Where is Hypatia? My nails curl. His voice, it was the one I had heard when I first arrived here. More importantly, Hypatia, who's that? Is there someone I've yet to meet in this house of curiosities? No. It's the fucking old wrinkly lady that Blob drew earlier. It's... Patient? What? I don't know what you mean by that, but the fucking dress lady, goop lady, Miss Organ falling out. It unsettles me to think so. God damn, dude. Why is he aura farming on this child? Around, I'm sure. My brows draw together. No, hello? The man nods and turns to leave just as quickly as he came. But then he stops for a brief moment. He reaches into his coat and produces a small lantern with a glowing green flame. Here's everything that was on your list. He places the lantern on Dove's desk with a light tap. But his eyes briefly catch on Dove's notes, and I see her go stiff. You've been busy. It's nothing. Of course it is. Of course it is. The man steps away and makes his way to the door again. You should know better by now. He gives Dove one last glance. Why don't you find something better to do instead of wasting your time? Dove's eyes tweak, but her overall expression remains blank. I stare in disbelief as he leaves without another word. Once he's gone, Dove stands rooted to her spot. His face is blank and his eyes are unfocused. My ears twitch and follow the new noises in the house. Footsteps fade to another section of the mountain. Mansion, fuck. I can hear the sound of a door clicking to a close. Dove finally moves again and picks up the handle of the lantern. She looks down at me right as I meekly come out of my hiding spot. Let's go. Let's go. Quietly. Quietly. When we go to the kitchen, Dove places a small lantern on the table. Then she opens the glass and blows out the flame. Smoke begins to fill the room. It clouds the kitchen so quickly that I don't even have time to hold my breath. I expect a dry burn in my lungs, but instead, the smell of petrichor tickles my nose. When the smoke clears, boxes, bags, and crates have appeared out of nowhere all over the table and floor. My eyes widen in awe, and my tail starts wagging excitedly. I start sniffing at boxes and peeking into the bags while Dove starts digging through the crates. I sit and watch as she pulls out shiny new incandescent bulbs and sets them down on the kitchen table. She opens up everything before she starts sorting them. Out of one box, she pulls out a new dress and polished shoes. They're both pretty and frilly, but Dove gives them a sour look and shoves them back in their boxes before moving on to the next thing. I remember the witch had mentioned getting everything on a list, to which I assume was prepared by Dove. Is the new fashion not in her style, or were they things she didn't ask for? I haven't seen Dove wear anything besides her sleepwear. She probably doesn't see the point in getting dressed, considering all her activities are forcefully indoor-based. Oh! Sorry, her happy expression always catches me slightly off guard. Jesus. In another box, she lights up at the sight of new books. She fans the pages and takes a deep inhale. Her face lights up with glee as she basks in the new book smell. She gathers all of the food and sorts them into separate piles. One pile is for the cold cellar, the other for the pantry. She pulls something out of a paper bag and her mouth stretches into a big smile. She then looks down at me as I tilt my head in question. I'll treat you something tasty today. Dove flashes a quick glance at the hallway and then crouches down. Follow me and be light on your paws. Dove starts down the hallway, balancing on the balls of her feet with practiced ease. I feel uneasy about this new need to sneak around the house. I've been here long enough to the point where I'm almost used to the monsters that live here. But now I'm learning that these monsters have something to be wary of. God, that expression always makes me fucking nervous, man. When we enter the greenhouse, Dove stops at the entrance. I look back at her in confusion. Her eyes stare blankly. I can see her pupils move around the room in search of something. Her behavior sets me on edge. I turn around to see if there's someone or something here in the greenhouse beside us. There's no one. Nothing. I glance back at Dove. A line forms between her brows before she continues making her way in. She passes by me and silently heads for the violets. Once they're in front of her, she bends down, reaching for them. I bark in surprise when she starts ripping them out. This is probably the last time I'll get to eat this. We should appreciate Babble's hard work, right? My ears go flat. I stare at the uprooted flowers that had obviously been cared for with such care. Been raised with so much care. Everything here is most likely going to rot away. Dove doesn't seem very interested in plants. I can't picture her spending every day here pulling out weeds, knowing how much water every plant needs, or even knowing what fertilizer is. I think she'd rather draw the same statue 1,000 times. It feels like such a shame. Once Dove has picked out all the violets, leaving the soil bare, she stands and gets ready to head back. I try to memorize the site of the vibrant garden as much as I can before I'm forced to catch up to Dove. Dove pauses awkwardly again when we enter the hallway. I freeze up. This time, I think there's something dangerous up ahead. I cautiously peer around Dove's legs. Once again, there's nothing. I snap my head up at Dove. Is she messing with me? Dove continues moving like nothing happened, and I slowly trail behind her. As we continue walking, we pass by a small window. I notice a familiar glass holding a small bundle of roses, its petals already dried up and flaking. My mouth goes dry. We arrive back in the kitchen. Dove starts gathering ingredients and ripping the violet petals from their stems. Meanwhile, a pot of water is heating over a fire in the hearth.
Meanwhile, a pot of water heating over a fire in the hearth starts to bubble. When steam starts to rise from the pot, Dove places the petals in a stoneware pot and adds the boiling water. She places a cover over the pot to let the petals steep, then starts to organize and put away all the new supplies. I watch curiously from the floor. I've never eaten flowers before. Dove completes every step with practiced precision. By the time she's finished cleaning up, the violets are ready to be infused with the other ingredients. Dove keeps herself occupied by combining everything. Eventually, she pours the finished product into glass jars. Dove seals 4 jars of violet jelly to be stored away, leaving 1 jar that's only partially filled. I lick my lips and admire the pretty colors the violets had made. She grabs a spoon and pops it in the jar, taking it with her as she makes her way to a small package wrapped in twine and paper sitting near the window. We're done here now. Dove sets the jar of violet jelly down on the window seat and unravels the package she had brought. A new quilt unfolds in her hands. She spreads it out on the floor near my water bowl. She settles into the window seat and I wait a moment before I step into the blanket. I take a second to savor the softness under my paws before laying down comfortably. Dove scoops up some of the violet jelly and holds the spoon out in front of my face. Here, I'll give you the first bite. I give the jelly a sniff, then test it with a small lick. It has such a sweet and floral taste. I lick up the rest greedily. Dove takes the spoon back and stares at the jar of purple jelly. Yo, thank you for the follow, Roxy Pop-Tarts. I appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying your stay. No, they're so I know. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a voice actor. I tend to do smaller indie games that people may or may not have heard about before. This game is really fucking good, by the way. Oh my god. As the sky fades into an all-consuming darkness, I gaze at the sheet of stars one last time before I curled up into a ball. I can hear the soft crackles coming from the candle that Dove lit earlier. It sounds soothed me, and soon enough, my eyes start to feel heavy. I rest my head on my paws and curl my tail around me. I hear Dove's spoon scrape into the glass jar. Then, the sound of someone sniffling. Okay. That feels like the end of chapter 2, so I think we'll probably call it for tonight, just because it's been 3 hours, and I have done nothing but voice act for 3 of them, so my throat's a little sore. Or at least I think this is chapter 2, I don't know. Chapter 3, actually. Go rest up and drink water. Yeah, no problem. Okay. There is... Okay, yeah. Let's go look for someone to raid. I think I'll be calling it for tonight. I had a really, really good time with you all. This game's fucking awesome. I really, really like it so far, and I'm having a great time. I hope you all are as well. I will see you all Friday. So, with that said, I believe I'll call it for tonight. Aqua's live. Okay. They're a good friend of mine.
I hope you all have a lovely... This game's fun. The kids are so adorable. Yeah, no, I really, really love it so far. It's been a really, really great game so far. I had a great time with you all. Thank you so much for coming. It was a pretty quiet stream, but I hope you had a great time. Good night, everybody!